What they say.
Bang!
Words.
Neevesknives. I'm Jared with my lovely wife, Kara.
You clicked it.
And we are live, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi.
Live. Oh, Neevesknives. We have a couple really cool topics to talk about today. One, you guys seen the title, so we'll get to that here in just one moment.
I got to get to the scheduled program here. Hold on.
What are you doing?
Got to get to the program.
Yeah, she's oh yeah, there you go. Good job.
Thanks.
Good job on that. So, what's up? Hey, there they are.
Yo.
Shout out to Knife Modders.
Yow.
Hell yeah. We'll be seeing you guys here pretty soon. It's only a few more weeks till Blade Show Atlanta. So
I'm just assuming you guys are going, are you?
I'm assuming they are. I think they have a table. Don't you guys have a booth or something? Or am I making that up? I think I'm making that up.
I think you are, but I feel like I also heard it.
Hey, Choir Boys in the house too. Shout out to Choir Boys. Definitely go and check
Choir
his
Boys.
YouTube channel out. Awesome YouTube channel. He's killing it, man. His channel is popping off, man.
Rickard with the toothy edge. If you guys are members or new members, don't forget to use your toothy edge emoji because it's hilarious.
So they said no table, but they are going though. And shout out to Bladecraft, another channel you guys should go and subscribe to. So you guys are not going to have a table, but you guys are for sure going. Well, that's cool. At least you're going.
Okay, actually, seems
it's probably better you not have a table because then you can hang out more.
Seems logical. Said that I matched my shirt to the lighting. I was actually really salty when I walked in.
She didn't even know what color I was going to turn this on.
No, and I'm really upset because that's red, and this is like
it's orange. It's orange.
Whatever it is, it's reddish.
She's
orange.
colorblind.
This is hot pink right here, and it's making it seem like the wrong color.
You want me to turn it to pink?
This is like a nice pink.
You want me to turn it to pink?
Yeah, let's pink it up in here.
All right, we can pink it up.
Beta.
Oh, that doesn't look pink. Oh, wait,
that's not pink.
Our pink sucks on this. No, but look, that's the pink. The pink is wrong. Yeah, no, that's a
no.
Check it out. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'll switch to the other one. That color sucks. All right, so we're gonna get to this topic here in 1 second. Kara's actually probably gonna go in first. You want me to start it off?
No,
I'll start it off.
We'll just stick with that one. That's fine. That one's pretty cool.
You're gonna have to match it though.
Yeah, but pink is next to purple in the rainbow, so it's fine. You know, it's all good.
Sorry, guys. All right.
See how much more pink my shirt is though right now?
Sorry, guys. We are just absolutely not prepared, are we?
Well, no, we just it's very important that the stream matches my shirt. Everybody,
yeah, I know. That's why I'm trying.
Everybody in the chat wants to spend time on this. They are all rooting for you to do this. Before that, they were very upset, like I was.
So, topic today is
okay, do you want me
the first? Well,
can I just go in on it?
Yeah, just the first part because we have a lot of other topics we're going to talk about. This is just to start the show off. I guess that's close enough.
Yeah, don't worry. We're not spending the whole live on this. Wow.
No, we're not going to spend the whole live on this. We are going to talk about it for a few minutes, though. You know, and I know a lot of you guys don't like the drama, don't like the beef. I think a lot of us don't, but you know, we're all here for it, though, right? We're always here for it. We're always willing to listen. But
I think it's interesting to talk about to the proper extent in a classy way.
I do too. And I think there's an appropriate way to deal with situations.
I don't like drama when people are being mean. I don't like that. Like if I got on here and was like, yo, that person's a piece of shit. Like I don't like that.
Well, yeah, because then you're not having
too long.
Then you're not having a debate or a discussion. You're just calling names.
When
but
people continue a subject when it's been worn out, I hate it. I'm just like, okay, shut up. Like we got it. I just like there's like a time limit for me and also a way to go about talking about situations.
So this has nothing to do with us, by the way. We want to make that clear. This has nothing to do with us. We're kind of, you know, beef dropping.
Yeah.
But we listened to the whole thing, and it came from Brian from over at Transparent Knives. He did a video yesterday. Shout out to him. Awesome dude in the community. And I'm like super confused. And if you guys didn't see it, go and watch it. Go listen to him because
it was on Instagram, to be clear.
It was on Instagram, yeah. So, but basically, just to give you the gist, what is it?
Mike Emler, remember for 9 months. Thank you for the 9 months.
Thank you, Mike.
Sir. It says, "Oh, I forgot to cancel. LOL. I wouldn't, bud." I don't know what that means. Do you know what that means? Didn't you just talk to him? I'm not sure what that means, Mike.
So, I don't know. So maybe he forgot to cancel memberships. He's saying.
Oh,
he meant to cancel because he doesn't like us.
Never mind on that. Thank you for the 9 months.
So
wait, one more. Just Nate, member from
No, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm not.
Are you
not.
upset
That
that we
wasn't.
have a member?
No, that was
Are you
just
upset
like
that Nate's
that was
been
a breath
member?
because it was about to come
Nate's
out.
been a member for 9 months. Okay.
Shout Nate.
Nate.
Shout out to Nate.
Just Nate. Literally.
You're awesome.
Just
Nate.
Nate.
Just
Nobody
Nate.
else.
Nothing else.
Nobody else.
Just Nate.
Just Nate.
Wow.
And Jared really is upset that you've been a member for 9 months. You should probably cancel that because you.
That's not true.
Everybody heard that sigh.
That's not true. The sigh was because it was like, you know, the air still coming out of me as I was.
There's a few more, so just keep sighing. Longbeard, member for 2 months. Thank you, Longbeard.
Thank
Jared
you.
will sigh as long
Shout out
as
to
your
the
beard is
Longbeard.
long.
Yeah.
I guarantee
Shout out
it.
to the long beard.
And then we got Chris Jones, member for 4 months. Thank you for the 4 months. He says, "How you darn with the toothy edge?"
There you
Guys,
go.
The toothy edge emoji is just a
It's
reason
funny.
by
It's
itself
funny
to
as
be
hell.
a member.
So guys, throw up the emoji.
Yeah,
throw up the
get us
toothy
some
emoji.
toothy edges. Guys, if you're not a member, the toothy edge is worth like at least $16 a month, I would say.
Just to be able to use it. Okay, so
wait, let me make sure there's no more before you breathe. Yeah, that was for all you guys. Bells all around.
all those are free bells.
And we got a CAD Master on the 5 memberships. So 5.
Hey!
Oh,
thank you, CAD Master.
Dog got one.
And we got Dennis in here with the 5 crackers. Thank you, man. Thank you, guys.
Sarah and Dog got a membership. And
so you guys aren't throwing. That's not the
Portia,
toothy thing. What's wrong with their things?
Well, you can't see them.
Oh, I can't see them, but they're over here though.
They're all up in the chat. Yeah.
So
hit us with the
let's get to this. So
can I just make sure real quick?
yes, please.
There's a few more.
There's a few
All
more.
right,
you guys are coming in hot.
Coming in hot today, Sid. Member for 13 months. Thank you for the 13 months. That is a baker's dozen.
Shout out to you.
Woo, free message gang. Bang.
Bang, gang.
And then we have a super chat from Dennis with 5 crackers. Bang, boing, kapow. I'm back and Kyle's a grumpy mofo. Oh, no, we don't like a grumpy Kyle. Let's everybody in the chat make Kyle happy. We don't want.
We got Mike Emler. It was a joke. I wouldn't cancel.
Oh, okay.
All right, well, I got you. Well, we took it serious, so
we're still
we've already banned you.
You should just still cancel.
Okay, we ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, Brian, he had purchased a knife secondary and sent it to the maker. I'm not going to really get into the maker and, you know, the person, everything. I don't want to sit here and say people's names. You guys can go watch his video. I think you guys should. But basically, because I want to talk about the subject, like, because, you know, I feel some sort of way about it. We'll get to it in a minute.
Okay.
So,
guys, we'll get to all member comments and super chats. Like,
yeah, they know how it goes. They know
I'm just saying, because sometimes, you know, I just want to let the mods know I see them. Okay.
So, basically, he bought a knife secondary and then sent it to the maker to get fixed because it had issues. Okay, so it had issues. The maker fixed it. He put a little bit of extra love into it, put a little bit of extra work into it. And Brian sold it. Brian sold it as he can because it's his knife, right? So I guess my issue is because the maker got upset about that, you know, and probably because they looked at it like I put a bunch of extra work into this and then he goes and sells it. But you guys have probably heard me 1,000 times say on this channel, and this is just from me, right? This has nothing to do with that, but from me, if I give you guys a knife, I don't care if you asked for it and I gave it to you, if you bought it, if you want it in you know, something on the channel, wouldn't matter, not even a little bit. You could literally tell me that you're planning on selling it and I would help you. Like, I look at it as, for me personally, like with the giveaways and stuff, is an opportunity, whether it is for you to make a little extra money, trade, or keep the knife because maybe you like the knife, maybe you don't, but you want it anyways. Now, as far as purchasing something, when you purchase it, it's yours outright. So I personally don't understand. Like, to me, I want everybody to make money however they can, you know, and if you need to you know, get some funds together by selling some stuff and then put it over here or put it over there, I would think that the community would actually be a little bit more tight knit about this thought process. Like, whether I'm sending it in to get mod work done or sending it in for actual warranty work, right? It shouldn't matter that I want to get rid of it afterwards, you know, to sell it, because maybe that's the whole purpose. And to his defense, he didn't ask for the extras. One second. He never asked. One second. He never asked for the extras. So he the warranty work that he did, you know, was he was supposed to do because it's his product, right? His product. So he should, you know, honor the warranty work. But go ahead.
I got it. It's
Go
bothering
ahead.
me so much. I just want to
Yeah.
make like 3 points because
Yeah, I was just gonna let you roll here in just 1 second. Well, go ahead. Just go ahead.
I know, but as you're talking, I like want to like
I
add
know.
a thing
Do
that
you want
really
what
matters.
me and you just discussed it? Me and you.
Okay, because
Fuck these guys.
that was rude. Now
Fuck
you're
these guys.
first you're sighing, now you're being mean.
What? What'd you say?
I said first you were sighing at them, now you're telling them to go
No,
fuck
no,
themselves.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
You called them all a bunch of bitches.
No, I
before we
didn't.
turned on the camera. You guys should have heard him.
Oh shit.
This is crazy. Anyway, I'm so kidding. I'm so kidding. He loves you guys so much. It's actually all he talks about. He loves you maybe even more than me. It's possible. Anyway, I'm just kidding. He loves me more. Onward. So there's a couple points I want to make like super clear, like before we continue talking about it. Now, none of these points actually should matter in my personal opinion. Like it doesn't matter what the surrounding information was. If he sold it and he owned it, that's it. But so just to make a couple points here, because I saw like 40 rumors floating around surrounding, and I feel like after like you guys know I'm the research department, I feel like I did my research well enough to get like a couple things very clear that were backed up that I can for sure say. So number one, the knife was purchased for $900 exactly. The knife was also sold for $900 exactly. Technically, he would have lost money for shipping, both for the warranty and for just like buying it, paying the shipping for whoever bought it for $900 flat, because that included shipping. So technically, he lost a little money if you want to look at it like that. Now, the other big detail to understand is that this knife is damaged. I noticed somebody in the chat said that you have to like that they understood both sides because it's like a maker's work. It's like their art, whatever. So the way I see it is you're absolutely right. However, I disagree at the point in where I understand both sides. And the only reason why is because if your art and your work is so important to you, why would you want a broken knife floating around no matter who owned it?
It doesn't matter.
If you have that kind of much pride in your work that you're getting so angry
doesn't
about
matter
it,
where the knife
then
goes.
you should like be super glad. Oh
Someone's
my God,
gonna send it
I'm
in.
so glad that I fixed it before it continued floating around just out there, because it doesn't matter if you bought it 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, or 7th, your name is on it. And people don't say, oh, I bought it 3rd hand, so I can't really blame the maker. If the problem's big enough, they will. They'll think, oh, this knife is junk. I don't care what the last 2 owners did. It shouldn't have been like this.
Unless if they straight up did like mod.
Of course, there's certain stuff that
like
and we're not talking about that. I'm saying like if it's an unmodified knife, like depending on what the problem is, there could still be blame all the way back to the maker, even if it's passed through some hands, just because for the life of the knife, certain things shouldn't happen no matter what.
All right, I'm gonna get super chats really quick, and you're
wait,
gonna keep going.
let me just finish my last point. And the very last thing you need to know is that that extra work that was done from all the messages I saw and read was not asked for. And in fact, if you go and look at his policy, which I did, it offers a free spa service upon suggestion or like asking for it, right? But he didn't ask.
I didn't know that.
So, but yeah, that's a thing he does. And it's like, if you ask for it, he'll do it. Now, Brian didn't ask for the spa service, but he did. Now, he claims he did it because Brian, quote, bitches and complains all the time, and he was trying to go above and beyond to not cause that.
But let's be clear, though. It is a good, if you say, like, if your standard is Brian bitches and moans, well, then that looks like he has fucking good standards, right? Because obviously, if you're bitching and moaning about things, that means your standards are pretty high, right? So that means that you're gonna, actually care about.
I would think he'd be happy to get it out of his hands if you're so worried about him complaining.
But I'm just saying, though, but that's what we want. We don't want somebody who accepts the crap and then is willing to overlook it and then say, oh, well, this maker did it, so I'm gonna avoid saying anything about it. You want somebody who's willing to call it out no matter what. And I think everybody could agree with that. Dennis, thank you for the 2 crackers. I am going through them. Dave Good. No, I don't. Dave Goodridge with the 5 bones. Thank you, man. I'm going down.
But you can't see this one. So
okay, well then just tell me about it. What is it? What is it, baby?
Gracian.
Okay.
Dang it. I used to be good at saying it. Gracian. Gracian. I used to say it right. He knows I used to say it right. What's up, Knife Fam? Thank you so much for the 2 months. Gracian.
Thank you, Dave. I appreciate the 5 bones. And Mike Emler with another 10 bones. Got to bounce. Still filming anything tonight. Good talking to you earlier, bud. All right, brother. Thank you for jumping in.
You didn't finish it. Kara, hope you enjoyed the coffee.
Custom EDC Knives with the 10 bones. Hi, everyone. How's it going? Neevesknives, thank you again for checking and doing the video on the production warned tech. I'm going to extend the flash sale to Monday at 5 p.m. So if you guys don't know what he's talking about right now, he's talking about, do I have it right here? Yeah, I have it right here. He's talking about the warn tech, the production warn tech that he has in. If you purchase them right now, he's going to extend the $225 price tag, which is a really good price for this. The $225 price tag until Monday, but then after that, it's going to go back to $250 for 2 weeks, and then it goes back to $300. So he's throwing a nice deal out there. I would definitely take advantage of it. It is 100% worth that. Yeah, it's really good. So thank you for the 10 bones. If we're not done talking about this, by the way, we can jump with the 5 bones. Can we all agree that we should make a knife called the wee?
We can jump, of course, would suggest that.
Yeah, that's hilarious, right?
And then somebody suggested the ooh-wee.
Dustin with the 5 bones. Hey, you two. You guys are gems of this community. I hope you're having a great night. I hope you're having a great night. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Cue ball in the house.
One in between that.
Okay. Well, let me get cue ball really quick. 5 bones from cue ball. Having dinner with my dad and grandpa. Hope everyone is having a fun night here and a great weekend. Thank you for the donation.
Got a cat. It's really cute.
You got a kitty.
Yeah, it's cute. Okay. Memers Anonymous with the 2 months. Thank you so much for the 2 months. But you secured a Ziphius. Oh, you are gonna love that thing. That is a great knife. Great knife. Awesome.
Which one was it?
The Ziphius, the wee Ziphius.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah, it's a good one. That's a really good one. Good for you on the awesome purchase. And I gotta say, anybody who gets the Ziphius or the Exciton, congratulations, because you got a badass knife. There's a handful of knives that have come out this year, and we're going to talk about a couple more honorable mentions here in just a minute as soon as we're done with this topic. But I just think that, in my opinion, I think we should kind of stick together in this community of people wanting each other to do well and make money. Right? Like, I don't think we should take the knives. I understand making it, right? It's kind of like me, right? Like, if somebody sent me a knife and asked me to sharpen it or something, and I did it for free, right? Like, I literally said, oh, no problem, I'll do it for free, right? Because I think they're going to keep it and I think it's for them. And then they turn around and sell it and advertise it as it Neevesknives Edge or something. I would applaud them. I would be flat. I would applaud them. Like, damn right, get your money, man, because I want everybody to make money. Now, I understand that we've
just probably been poor enough to understand. Like, I'm not saying Brian's poor. I'm just saying, like, we've probably just been poor enough to understand, like when you see somebody get money, you're just so happy for them because you know the feeling of not having it, and it's like you feel that happiness for
also,
anybody.
I am like the biggest capitalist.
He didn't make any money though, so that's
no, he didn't make any money. But
he
got his money back. But he got his money back. And that's the thing, is that sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes you take a little loss. Sometimes you might break out even. Sometimes you might get a little bit more. But the point is, though, is that this is a wheeling and dealing game. We're all a part of it. We're all a part of it. And we're all going to wind up doing it. And regardless of how long you collect for, you're eventually going to sell. And sometimes you're going to sell things that you might not want to, that you absolutely love. And sometimes you're going to sell things that, maybe you just need to thin out the crowd. But it's going to happen, and we all know it. We're all going to be a part of it. So I just don't understand, like, getting upset. Now, I'm a sentimental person to some extent. So when I get gifted a knife, I do look at it, sentimentally. But with certain things, like personally for me, like if I gifted you something, I wouldn't give 2 shits if you sold it or did anything, because, like I said, I look at it as an opportunity. Yeah.
John Blackman took my advice on wanting the toothy emoji and joined the Benchmates specifically. Clearly, he did it just for that one single emoji.
Shout out to the new member and
enjoy your use of the toothy edge.
Chris Jones with the 2 bones. Y'all are a damn comedy team without even trying. Thank you. We try. Well, we don't try.
Your super chats don't like rhyme without even trying. It's like the same thing.
But yeah, I think is there anything else?
Yeah, there's something else. So
go ahead.
I want to get to the thing that actually I don't really care about anything we just talked about.
Oh, you have nothing else on here.
Oh, I meant for this.
Oh no, go ahead. Okay. Yeah.
I don't really care if I'm being real honest with you. I don't really care about anything we just talked about. The thing that I thought out of this whole thing that was like needed to have a voice to it was at one point during Brian's wait, hold on. I gotta read this really quick. Edgy American Shane, 5 bones. Thank you so much, Shane. Give him a bell. Y'all are missing the point. He did fix it, but then attack Brian personally because he sold it. No, wait, what? We're not missing that point.
That's the point we're making. That's the point we're making.
That's what the drama is like that he did that. And I honestly don't really feel like I saw earlier you mentioned like, oh, he had a right to be upset, but not to.
And listen, hold
on. Earlier Shane said he had a right to be upset, but not to personally attack Brian. I personally don't feel like he had. I mean, you could feel however you want to feel, but I personally would say, why are you upset? Why? What? Like, in what universe are you upset that you followed through on a warranty? Oh, and then he was like changing my warranty. It's like, okay, so but that's you right there admitting that it was in your warranty.
Right.
You have to change it. So what are you mad at?
Right.
Don't have a freaking warranty.
Don't promise something that you're not actually going to do, and then when you do, you get mad about. And but we're not missing the point. That's the whole point. And I want to say this, that I don't know dude personally, so I've never really had too much conversation with him, very, very little. So I have nothing against him. I don't know him, but I do know Brian. I do know Brian.
You're not really people. I don't
know. Yeah. But I am a little biased though, because I am friends with Brian. But still,
I'm not really personally close with either person, so I can really look at this very clearly here, and all I see is just whining. So that gets me to my next point, which is that the thing that brought to me the most like urge to like I want to talk about this is in Brian's explanation. By the way, I did watch both things on both sides and research both pages and look through all this, so I didn't just like one side it here. But in Brian's video, he claims that and I say claims because this is all alleged, whatever. He claims that the other dude, I think his name is Alex, right? The guy, is that his name? Alex, the maker?
Yeah. Well, I said I wasn't going to say his name, but I guess you just did.
My bad. Well, Brian said it. They're saying it about.
I said to go watch his video.
Okay, well, they put it out there,
it's
but
fine. All
I
right,
didn't say
so
who.
we know it's Alex.
His name is Alex. We don't know which one. There's like fucking like 10 million Alexes in the world, if not more.
Yeah, there's so many custom knife makers.
There's a lot of them. There's one named Alex Smith or something. I don't know.
Go ahead with your point.
He said that he claimed that he mentioned that like another person in the community had to tell Brian to tone down his copying. So the Alex, the guy who he's beefing with, claimed that this other maker had to tell Brian to tone down his copying on regrinds. So for those of you that don't know, Brian from Transparent Knives does a lot of regrinds, and I guess there was a point at which he was called out for copying this other person who does regrinds. Now, Brian showed the exact messages from this conversation with this other maker, and like the conversation was super cordial, right? Like the guy was like, hey, I just want to make sure we're good, Brian, because like I heard that like maybe like this or that happened. I just want to let you know we're cool. Like I did talk to so and so about like you kind of like doing stuff like me, but like I should have came to you. Like I'm sorry, but we're cool. Like I know how it is, blah blah. And then Brian's like, yeah, no, it's cool because there is this one thing I did and then you did them, but it's like is what it is. And as I was like listening to the conversation, and trust me when I say this, it has nothing to do with these two individuals. It's just something that brought this point out of me. I'm reading this. I'm like, why in the honest to God are we even having this nice, polite conversation? It bothered me so much. And the reason why is that I'm sitting here thinking like, knives are knives. There's only so many regrinds you can do. There's only so many blade shapes you can do. Like, who cares if somebody does a 940 regrind and this guy does a 940 regrind over here? Why are we having this stupid polite conversation? Like, are you good? Are you good? I'm good. I'm good. Are we friends? Like, it's nice you guys are polite. Like, I'm not making fun of you guys. I'm just saying, like, the fact that men are even wasting their time doing this instead of on their grind, and they're worried about making sure everybody's feelings are all good. Like, everybody just do your own thing.
Right.
Stop worrying about it.
It's called mod work, so it's on something that's already done. It's not like you're stealing.
You're literally taking Benchmade's 940 as a catalyst for your work.
You made a good point yesterday. What? If you can't patent it.
Yeah, if you can't patent it, free game. Don't send nice flowery messages to each other, making sure everyone's feelings are okay. Like it's just.
And why would you care if you can't patent it? Why would you even care if you're doing regrinds and then the guy down the street starts doing regrinds and does the exact same one just like you? It's a regrind. Like
it's a regrind. Like you can't own regrinds, and they actually said that in their conversation. So it's like they're sitting here like having this polite acknowledgement of something that doesn't need to be said. And I just feel like people should be like happy. Like for anybody, like, do you think that when Jared and I were on this channel together, that if any other husband and wife made a channel, that
she got pissed,
like that we would be like super mad,
pissed.
Like I'm sure there's other channels with husbands and wives that probably got pissed that we did it, but it's just the point that it's
at least one.
Yeah, you can't monopolize. I'm a freaking person who likes knives. Sorry, you're not the only one, right? So it's like you can't do that. My analogy, just to break this down yesterday, perfectly clear for what I'm getting at, because I don't want to make it sound like I'm attacking them as personal people for this conversation. That's not what it was. I mean this in a very general way. Think of it like this. If I open an ice cream shop, okay, and the guy down the street opens an ice cream shop, do you think that it would be dumb? And remember this from yesterday?
Yeah.
Do you think that it would be dumb if I called the guy down the street and said, "Hey man, I just want to let you know, I saw you open an ice cream shop up, and you know,
I
saw
too.
chocolate ice cream, and I saw that you sell chocolate ice cream, but like I know you put chocolate chips in yours though, and like mine's plain. But like, you know, are we good? Because I kind of was upset that you were like copying my chocolate flow. I know you put chocolate chips on it, but like, you know, are we good?" And then he's like, "Yeah, man, no, I know we're good because like I have vanilla, and I saw that you put like a cherry on your vanilla, which is kind of the same as mine. And you did vanilla after I did. Like, wouldn't you guys be like, shut up and make money? What are you even having this conversation for?"
Right.
Like, I think that there's like in general, and I don't mean to like go this deep, but I'm going there. In general, I really feel like men as a whole in the working space have become soft on their feelings. Focus on your own grind. What are you doing worrying about the guy over here? Imitation is flattery. Period. You make something. What do you think? Like Medford, right? He makes jokes about like the Chinese people coming taking pictures of his designs, but he knows they're gonna do it. Like, yeah, he makes jokes about it, but do you think that stops him from just moving forward? Now, I will say he's probably wasted some time on like
he's probably gotten pretty pissed about it,
trolling it. But like, I even in that situation, I agree.
He keeps it pushing. Keeps it pushing.
But like, at least when he's doing it, he's selling something and making money off of it, like a dumb shirt or whatever. Like, it's just the point that like, why are we focused on this as you guys as men, like doing your thing? Right? Like women, at least I can say, okay, they're emotional, but like with men, it's like, why are you so hurt that somebody else is successful? You know, and in their case, they were very congratulatory of each other. And it's very hard to tell through text, but it kind of reminded me of one of the, and I don't think this is the case, but it reminded me of one of those conversations where like you have two people talking, they're like, yeah, it's like two girls and they're like, yeah, nice dress. And they're like really mad at each other, but they're having this polite conversation, you know, and it's just like, just don't, like if we could just all like have an understanding that like everybody's doing their thing, there's gonna be some things like, do you think that knife modders, what do you think they do when somebody else starts anodizing knives and does like a similar pattern to them or hammers the titanium the same way?
And it's happened many times.
And what do you think happened when the lightning anodization patent got around, right? Everybody was trying to gatekeep that at first, and then eventually it just kind of was like, whatever, everybody just do it. Like, you know, like again, something's patent, that is different. If you go do your due diligence to copyright, patent, trademark, then that's a whole different thing because you're protecting something that's proprietary. And I understand in business the proprietary information and tangible things in your business are very important. If you break proprietary process or let it out there and let people know, even if it's not patent, like that can be a bad thing. But if somebody happens to do the same thing, you look like an idiot for saying, oh, they're copying me. Do you know how narcissistic you have to be to have something as general as like, you know, like an anodization, and to look at the guy down the street doing, going, yeah, he copied my flow? That's like us saying that another husband and wife doing a knife channel, yeah, they copied. You know,
one thing too,
like,
I want to say
you?
one thing, you know,
sorry, I'm done.
we have to stop having this mindset, because especially with us in so much competition with overseas stuff, you got to get off of this mindset, right? We got to be able to fucking advocate for each other to make money, however, and to do whatever it takes to succeed. And then, like, you know, she said, you know, it should be flattering, right? If somebody does something similar to you, if you're going to do it better, do it better. Whoever does it best is the one that wins, right? Why does it have to be I started it, so now if you do a better job than me, you can't do that, right? Like, that's not how it should be. It should be the best man wins, right? And I completely agree with that. Just like you don't.
I don't really think that matters personally.
Yeah, I don't think that matters. I'll get to it if I see it. Daniel Cat, thank you for the 10 bones. We can all just flick a knife and be happy. That's true.
That's exactly right.
But yeah, no, I just I think that it's important for us to not fight over petty stuff and go after each other and then sit there and make it seem like they did something wrong to you, like inherently, and like are basically cutting you down and stuff just because they're doing what's good for them. Like, we should all want to do what's good for ourselves. And you know, I can kind of see, you know, where he's coming from, where like he did the spa work and stuff. But the point is, though, is that you already offer that. So, like, that's something regardless. What if it was the next guy who did it, right? Somebody you don't know. Is it just because you knew the person? Like, I don't know. I personally just can't understand it. I can't wrap my head around it.
So talking about, 5 bones, Chris Jones carries on a roll, well a chair, but she but she went up. Dennis with the 2 crackers, don't say it's like Voldemort. Anyway, yeah, dude, you can have your thoughts about like if Brian started for whatever, but I'm gonna tell you right now, if somebody sent
like
me
VOSTEED.
an email like the one that got sent to Brian about get the fuck over his suicide problems and all that stuff, I personally might not be the type of person to take that to a platform. Like when we had the issues with Liang Ma, he took it public, right? Like there was never any private Discord. It just immediately was public, right? Which is why we responded publicly. I personally would not take the route that Brian did, but that does not change the fact that this dude shouldn't have sent an email to him in the first place.
Wait a second, though. You can't say that you wouldn't do that.
Personally,
but you would, though.
If it was all private.
It wasn't.
I'm saying if that's how it went, if Brian went to his Discord and blasted a bunch of shit everywhere
before
first,
somebody else made lies and stuff like that, you're saying. Because what happened was he responded because he felt like he was being lied about. Like every bit was being lied about on him, and the guy was trying to make him look bad. You know, whether he believed what he was saying or not, right, Brian obviously did.
We're trying to argue who said shit in Discord first. And it brings me back to my point that, like, I don't really care once it's public and you've invited the public in, no matter who did it. Yeah. I'm now looking at the situation for what it is. I really don't care who started it. Yeah. I think it's dumb all around personally. So, like, I understand that. But at the end of the day, regardless of if I would personally bring something public out or not, it is. And I'm looking at it for what it is. And I'm not really considering who brought it to the public first as much as what the situation is. And honestly, I don't really know. Did anybody go look at Discord and see exactly who started it first? Because
later, Robert,
other dude they're both saying each other did it first. So it's like, did anyone go check? Like for real? Like for real? You know, I didn't personally. I don't have their Discords. But
yeah, I agree. Sid, I think Brian's been pretty straightforward about everything. You know, just
he does
period.
Get involved in a lot of drama.
He does, but you know what though? It's kind of the way it is, you know. Shit happens, and I think for the most part, he comes with receipts. He does his due diligence to be as honest as possible, at least so it seems. I'm a really good judge of character with people. Like I've been around so many people my whole life that it's pretty. And I'm talking about like I've been around killers, I've been around liars, thieves, great people, and everything in between. So like I'm pretty good at judging a person's character if they're a good person or not. And you know, and as far as Brian goes, like,
what do you mean Alex didn't say anything? I've seen so many messages from him. Like, I'm not public or not. He said some fucked up stuff to him, regardless of. I don't know what he said in public. Well, I do. First of all, in the Discord, I saw the Discord messages on his end. I just don't know who started it first, like the exact time. The point is both of them right now have opened their mouths about it, and I'm looking at what each of them has said now, right? Like what's out there. He absolutely said stuff. I absolutely saw the email where he was being super fucked up to him, like super duper fucked up.
And like there was a Discord thing too.
Yeah, there was a Discord thing where there was messages which I saw.
That's in public.
That's public now, right? Like where he was saying things about like sold it for more money,
which is not even that big of a deal. Like this is not something like that people should now avoid him or avoid the other. Like it shouldn't be like that at all. My point is that let's all just advocate for each other to do good business. Oh, Brian's in here right now.
My whole point of everything, all of it, is that I don't really care about that part. I wish the best for both of them, but I think men should just like not worry about, oh, he copied me, he did this. Like, move forward, do your shit. Now, if somebody comes at you and they're saying, oh, I think you copied me, like, yeah, obviously you're going to respond politely. I'm not saying like ignore people and be bad in the community. But what I'm saying is like you as a person who's in a business should never, and I mean never, unless they violated a patent, copyright, or trademark, turn to somebody and say, I feel like you're copying me. You just shouldn't. I personally just think it's stupid. Put your face in your own grind and don't worry about it. It's not proprietary work. It's re grinds. I know, that's what I'm saying. We need a bare knuckle boxing match. No, just kidding.
No, to be honest, like that's where it shouldn't go to, right? We should, and that's why I have a problem with saying certain things, because like, I guess I've always thought about it like that. When two men start talking, like that, it can lead to that. So you want to watch your P's and Q's and say the appropriate thing, and you don't want to say things that you don't mean, right? But I want to get to the next topic. I just wanted to make some light of that, and hopefully we all do better in the future when it comes to each other and each other's businesses and making money and selling things, buying things, whatever the case is. Like, we should all be advocating for each other in this community, to grow this community, to make it better, to have each other's backs. If there's something you disagree with, if as long as it's not like so like immoral, right? Like, there's going to be disagreements. Like, get over it, right?
I just want to tie this little bow on it.
Yeah,
and
go ahead.
I'm done because, like I said, I don't like when things go on too long. JD Freedy said Alex was going in on Brian about his mental health and also attacking him. I cannot agree about not defending yourself regardless of who started the drama or not. And that's sort of what I was sort of mentioning before. Like, at this point, there's been things that have been said, whether made public or not, whether started it or not, where, like, in my opinion, one person very much crossed the line here. And regardless of my entire opinion, which is just like, why is this even happening at all? Any of it, with all of it. But I absolutely stand for defending yourself. And if that means using your platform to do it, like, whatever, that's your prerogative. Like, like, everybody can do what they want with their platform. Whether I personally do it or not doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The thing is that if a situation does get brought into the public, now you've invited everyone in to be the judge and the jury. And so I'm personally,
that's why you don't want to do it.
As somebody, that has the ability to speak on a platform, the message that I want to send is, yeah, sure, defend yourself. Absolutely. I totally agree with that. But the main message is, like, really doesn't even have to do with the Brian Alex thing at all. It just has to do with something I've noticed about, like, men, honestly, lately. And I'm not trying to, like, pick on men. Trust me, women have plenty of things they can work on. It's just like a thing lately.
And nobody wants information out there where they feel like they're being lied about or lied on when they have evidence to prove otherwise, and have that going around without just opening your mouth and saying something. Now, there are times where I think,
especially if you have a business involved. Remember, both these guys
right, that's true. Yes, right.
So regardless of how you want to look at it, like, it goes deeper than the personal scrutiny. It is their businesses. And so trust me, like, I get it. At the end of the day, I don't even know why anybody even knew he sold this knife. Either somebody saw it and sent it to start shit, or he was watching. And either way, I just think it's all weird. So it's like, I don't know, whatever.
So yesterday, I was on a podcast. It's a podcast you guys probably have never heard of. It's somebody that's in the knife community started a men's podcast, and it's just talking about, like, men in general. And tomorrow it's going to be airing. It's called Purpose Podcast. I will throw out a link sometime tomorrow when I get a link. So as soon as it gets put up, I'll get a link and I will put it out there if you guys do want to watch it. It's about an hour long. It was the first time I ever sat down with this guy. Well, not sat down with him. It was like this, but it was a great time, great conversation. So you can check that out if you want to. Maybe I'll do more of those in the future. Now, there's something that came out I want to show you guys. You guys probably haven't seen it, and I was blown away when I seen it. So let me try to find it really quick. You guys are gonna freak out. No, and I got something for you that you're gonna freak out about.
Is it a animal?
No. Why is that? What? Oh no! Don't tell me I'm not gonna be able to find him. Let me go like this. Give me 1 second. I'm finding it. So basically, Cold Steel made something new. I think it's real. Jimmy Slash actually talked about it. If he's got his Instagram put in here.
You got a ding ding.
Why do you not?
Can you ding it while you're doing that?
What?
Ding ding.
Go ahead.
Daniel Cad, 2 bones.
Thank you, Daniel.
Hands up at all modders. Daniel Cad was timed out. Remember, modders, if Daniel's begging for timeouts, please don't fulfill his timeout fetish until we've read the message. Nobody did that. I'm just as a reminder.
Okay, let's see here. Let me see if I can find it. I seen it the other day. I wanted to show you guys it. I'm pretty sure it's real. Where the heck is it? Did he take it down? Tell me he didn't take it down.
Question in the chat, sweetheart. Are we still doing the members live on Mother's Day?
Oh, here it is. Here it is.
Probably. We need to probably reschedule that.
What?
The members live that falls on Mother's Day.
We'll figure it out.
Is Mother's Day tomorrow? Or is it next Sunday?
I gotta call my mother. Okay, so here it is. This is Jimmy Slash's Instagram. You guys can go and check it out. And what I am talking about is the Cold Steel 5 Max. Not 4 Max, 5 Max. And I guess they dropped it at SHOT Show. And so I'm guessing it's going to be at Blade Show Atlanta. So you guys can check that out. He did have a regular picture of it. I'm trying to find it. I'm not finding it, but he did have like an actual, just a regular picture of it. Is it this one?
Can I stick the SR1?
That's not
What's
it.
happening right now?
I know I don't want no music to play or anything.
Oh,
Get
I know what we're
demonetized.
talking about again. I know what it is.
So I can't find where he has that.
Bob already spilled the beans in the chat. So
What about the 5 Max?
Yeah.
Well, I've already said it now too.
did
So
you?
yeah.
Thank you.
I'm
Gina.
trying to find it because the only place I know of it, it was on his thing. So it's right here. You can see it in the middle right here. So that's it. He had a post of it. At least I thought I seen a post of it where it was just that knife. But you can see how much bigger it is than the 4 Max. And for those of you that don't know, the 4 Max is a monster already. So this thing's an absolute beast. And since it has the triad lock, I'm guessing I don't need to tell you guys about the triad lock, but it's the strongest lock on a knife. It is so incredibly tough. And it's the one lock you can actually hard use. And when we talk hard use, like I'm not talking about just being tough. I'm talking about you can be as tough as you want to be on a triad lock, because a triad lock is just, it's so damn tough. But I thought that was really, really cool that the 5 Max is coming out. I don't know the price, don't know anything like that. First time I seen it was on his thing. I figured I'd show you guys. Jim says, I just bought a 4 Max today, 250 bones. Wow, they got some more affordable ones. You must have got the one in like S35VN. The one I have is AUS 10. It's awesome though. And AUS 10's a 5.
Get it?
My last fight, we threw hands in the middle of a parking lot, got drunk together, ended up being close friends. I've actually had that happen a few times where I got into a fight. Like I didn't like somebody. Like I just actually despised the person. And then we wound up like, I don't know, running into each other on the streets and getting into a fight and then becoming best friends.
Why do I know your name so much? Crispy Critter. Why do I know that? That like phrase.
What is it? What are you
Crispy
talking
Critter. There's something I like watched or played or something where they kept saying that. I feel like Crispy Critter. What the fuck is that from?
Now, you ready for the next thing, baby? You ready for the one you're going to freak out about?
Yeah.
All right. You're going to love this.
Yeah. I guess I can own a 5 Max then, Kyle.
Are you ready? Oh, what is, did you see that? Did you see that?
The bean or the Serge.
Yeah,
Serge
yeah, but you didn't see the new one.
It looks like a.
There's a new one.
Like a razor.
There's a new one.
That?
The Serge Panchico Rook is the new version. Remember he told us that? Yeah.
That's an Orbit.
It's next to an Orbit. This is the new one. So this is basically
but it works like it.
It's like the new Orbit.
But it doesn't have a. Does it have a flipper tab? I don't see one.
Yeah, I think so. Hold on. Yeah, watch. Just watch. Calm down. Calm down. Watch. This thing looks so dope. This locking mechanism is one of the most fidgety. I'm gonna reach out.
Damn it, Serge. Look at your comment up there.
Damn it, Serge. Because it's so awesome.
Wait.
Yeah, let's listen to it. Let's listen to it. You want to listen to it? See if it has the same sound.
I didn't hear it.
It's the same.
Is it?
Yep.
Yeah, it is.
It's the most fidgety knife. It has such good acoustics. Wait.
That's what I used to do with Orbit. I remember it so fondly. I had the whole live. Man, you guys would have hated it. I would have the whole live. I miss it. Seems logical. Probably remembers those.
Yeah, we got to get one of these. But this, remember, guys, this is actually
Why does it look like someone took a bite out of it?
This is a because I took a bite out of it. This is a collaboration with Hawk Knives, so it's probably
it's gonna be $1 million.
USA made, $1 million. Yes, it's gonna be very expensive.
All right, guys, we need to make $1 million. That
I'm
one's
sorry, guys. I know the music though. I can't.
That one is G10. It's
pretty cool though. It's still titanium. Look at that. The back.
I would take any of them if I'm being
all right.
With you.
Check this out too. This is his button lock.
You know what that looks like so
I
much?
love it. I love it.
The LUD or the is it the Luft? The Luft design. Oh God, what is that thing called?
Oh yeah, the LUD.
Doesn't it look just like that?
No, but I see what I see where you're going. I see where you're going. But the
Luft
Luft has a big old belly.
Serge copied him, guys.
This has a pointy.
They should have a friendly discussion about it.
I absolutely love this. Some people probably think it looks awkward. I think this thing looks so useful.
Soups ox.
No, it looks super useful. It looks like a knife that you
right.
that would work for everything.
I'm sorry, I wasn't looking at the shit. The shit.
This thing looks badass. I love that.
Yes. That is. Don't you guys see that when it's closed? Hey, baby, can I get a dang dang, please?
You want a dang dang?
I need a dang dang for the crackers.
All right, let me get rid of this.
Silvano Amantia.
Hold on.
Says, how's it going for the 5 crackers? Oh, that wasn't. Oh, you can't see it. I see. It just says.
Thank you for the 5 crackers.
Silvano Amantia. That's a beautiful name.
A young kid called me a colonizer last week. I've never been in a wooden boat. It's hilarious. Betas. No, that's hilarious. That's fucked up. But yeah, I've heard some of the craziest stuff where people call each other and like it like totally just like waters down the meaning of the terms like that people are being called. It makes it to where it doesn't even mean anything. Like it doesn't, like you almost look at it like you want to be called these certain things sometimes, because if not, then you're not actually like. Shout out to Experience Precision, been a member for 3 months. Beta.
Just FYI, we're mostly saying that like a joke. Like we don't.
I love saying it.
It's just funny. It's not like a thing.
I don't know if you guys ever seen Jesse Lee Peterson's. He's there's a saying like going all over the internet, because like in this video he said be an alpha male, not a beta male, and like everybody's taken that little phrase and threw it everywhere. So now every time somebody's saying something,
no, crispy critters jarhead. I don't know what that is.
What?
I know what it's from. I know what it's from.
Dude, well,
it's from Atomic Heart.
Hold on, I gotta read this. Chris Jones says, Jared, start posting warnings before you suggest fragrances. I'm going broke over here.
Why? You look like you're playing poker in your picture.
But not really. I got some Creed Avantis. If you guys don't know, that's a $300+ fragrance. Azzaro Wanted by Night.
You spent $300.
I don't have that fragrance. I have a tester of this. I don't have the actual thing.
Oh,
I have a tester.
I was gonna cry a little.
But I have a Azzaro Wanted by Night. So I've recommended it because I have samples of it, but I don't have a bottle of it. The former is fire as fuck. The latter is meh. You know what? The one I have today is actually very affordable. Very, very affordable. But I'll tell you what, like those are very, very masculine fragrances. Those, what you need now is a sweet fragrance. You need a sweet fragrance. Try 1 Million Lucky. 1 Million Lucky, telling you, gets all the girls, all of them.
All right, guys, we will in a second here. I promise I will get to some of your knife related questions here. I see a bunch rolling by. If you've asked anything prior in the live and you want to re-ask it, we'll get to them.
I agree. We can jump. It's a great gym fragrance. Like it's a good fragrance all the way around. Nice fresh air.
I feel like Egyptians, I remember when I was a kid and I found out that Egypt was on Africa, my mind just kind of like exploded because I didn't feel like Egypt was African. Do you know what I mean? Like I felt like it was separate.
The name of the warranty is Precision Knife Works Warntech. I just did a video on it yesterday. You can go
tip on it.
It's got a tip on it.
It's got a tip on
it. I have it in, not a full video, but I have a video that it's in that I posted yesterday about Warncliffs. So it's linked. It's linked in the description of that video if you want to find it really quick.
I got some stuff. Can you give me a ding ding, please? Ding. Javon's Netflix member for 14 months. Love you, Jared and Kara. Look forward to Blade. Yes, we look forward to seeing you there.
We have a bunch more.
You were there last year, right? Didn't we see him there?
Who? John Evans? Yeah.
Yeah. No. Javon.
John Evans. Yeah, it's John Evans.
Oh, wait. Did he? No, he used to be Jevons. Did he change it?
Yeah, it's John Evans.
Oh, don't do that to me, John
Daniel
Evans.
Cad with the 2 bones. Thank you. He just says, Jared.
Excuse me.
Jared.
Excuse me. Do you think
Silvano.
Do you think that
You can't
Jared's the only
remember.
person on this screen?
We have
Daniel?
another new member.
Okay, but hold on. I will get to you, Silvano Amathea, with the beautiful name. Daniel.
That is a
Hello?
cool name.
Hello? You just gonna say Jared?
Hello. Hey.
There we go.
Hey.
There-
Oh.
That's my 2 bones. That's specifically for me.
And then we have
Thank
have.
you, Daniel.
What?
Have
I'm guessing there's more coming.
Jared, Kara, have.
A good
It's
night.
like a puzzle.
I'm guessing a good night.
It's a puzzle.
He's
guys.
leaving. That means he's out of
Did
here.
you get Dennis's comment? 2 crackers from Dennis with a kukri. There you go.
This one? Oh, the kookery.
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 He spelled it like
Kookery. That's how you spelled it. Kookery.
There's a bunch of ways to spell it. I actually learned from Seems
Brute
Logical.
is all you need.
I spell
I've
it-
never tried
I
brute.
spell it. How do you guys spell kukri? I spell it it's not C. KHUKRI.
Thank you for the 5 bones.
Have-
Careful, Kara. That was borderline hate speech denying Egyptian culture like that. The new Carolina Herrera Bad Boy Extreme is pretty damn nice. Also, just picked it up. The tax free a few days ago. I have the I don't have that one, but that is one I do want to try. So it's really good. Is it really good?
Can I
Because
have a pen?
I might get that
Can I
actually.
have that pen and that paper, please?
I've been
Ow! Son of a bitch. I just tried to click it the wrong way and it was open.
I
That
hate
really
when that happens.
hurt.
You okay?
Oh,
Oh, baby. Mwah.
Let me get a boo-boo.
all right. Let me get these. So
Jared,
what are you doing?
Kara, have
You
you.
Thank you for the 2
What?
votes. Custom
trying to
EDC
do-
knives. Here he is right here. Jared, in your opinion, what's the best all-around cologne? My personal preference is something not too sweet and not too spicy, but you want a little bit of sweet and a little bit of spice. So I would say one of the best is going to be Versace Dylan Blue. It's very affordable and it's one of the most liked fragrances as far as like that men and women both love. Like women go crazy over it. Men seem to like it a lot. I love it. It's one of my favorites. Another one would be this one doesn't last a super long time. Like this is beast mode. You put this on, this is gonna last 12 hours, maybe even like 18 hours. This lasts about 4 hours. So, but the Coach for Men, very, very good. Now I like to mix it with a leather fragrance. This is a suede fragrance. It's Coach Platinum, and you mix the 2 together and it's fire. But the fragrance we're talking about today is actually, let me just show you guys because we do have a fragrance of the day really quick. The fragrance of the day, let me get rid of this, is this.
Oh, you get to play with your wife, Chad. I wish Jared.
Hang on a
would
second.
play
I
with me.
gotta get rid
Jared
of
will
this.
play with me.
It's
He
not
only wants to play
true.
Call of Duty.
Not true.
He legit only
Daniel
wants to play
Cad,
Call of Duty.
we with the
No,
5
I'm
bones.
writing it down.
Okay. So this is KENZO. So it's AQUA KENZO. The thing is it's not an aqua fragrance. So do not take that part seriously. It is everything but an aqua fragrance. So basically it has a slight light sweetness to it. It's mostly off the top. It's like a green and apple. I think it's a sour apple or a green apple. Sorry, green apple right off the top. And if you look at the notes, it says the top notes are apple, pink pepper, bergamot. The middle notes are hazelnut and then water notes. Don't even listen to the water notes. Green notes and sesame. That's what you get. You get some of the tonka bean and sandalwood too with the cedar, amber, vanilla, and musk. But the most you're going to get is going to be the apple, pink pepper, bergamot, and the hazelnut. It's not a spicy fragrance. It's not a super sweet fragrance. It is a freshie. So it's a fresh, woody, nutty fragrance that has a hint of green, not mint or anything like that, but you can tell it has something in it. It's almost like a tea or something, but not. So what it winds up doing is it's pretty captivating. Like when you smell it, you want to keep smelling it because it's good. It's a great fragrance. So I'm wearing it actually right now. It's something that I have grown more and more. And I liked it right off the bat. I thought it was awesome right off the bat. But after I've worn it a few times, now when I go back and smell it, and this happens with almost every fragrance, when you first smell it, the more you smell it, the more the notes you're gonna smell in it, and it's gonna get stronger, and like it's gonna I don't know, it's gonna attract you more and more. And this is one.
Yeah, I've been smelling it.
That's good, right?
Is that the olive oil one?
No, why do you always say that with every fragrance?
I don't know. It's this room.
This has
This room
nothing.
fucks
This
them up.
is literally nothing to do with that even company.
I just was asking.
Yeah, you always ask that though.
I just
I
gotta
don't
make
know
sure.
why. Why?
Baby, you got so many.
This is
super
like
chats. Can we stop
I
talking
don't.
about Chloe for a second?
Nope.
Please.
Nope.
Please.
We just started.
I know, but like, there's really a lot, and I solved Daniel's puzzle, and you literally like he
All right, where
donated
am I
like an
at?
F ton. So
Nope. All right, I do appreciate all the
okay,
donations,
just do me
guys.
a favor. No, do me a favor. Like, go through all
Told me
the.
to go through them.
I
now
know.
you're
Go
stopping
through
me.
don't go through the Daniel ones. We'll do the Daniel ones at once because it's one message.
But I'll get to a point where I can't go back.
That's fine. I wrote the message down.
Okay, so you write the I then.
So
Why don't
skip
you write the I
Daniel-
then?
I did. Skip the Daniel ones for now. Read the rest, and I'll read the Daniel.
Okay, so got the big bottle of Lucky.
Oh God,
Dude,
Chris Jones, damn it.
I just did too. I literally, because I have a bottle like this and it's down like that much and they discontinued it. So there's a lot of them still on the shelf right now. But if you don't buy it, once it's gone, it's gone. And that is, in my opinion, one of the best fragrances you can buy. But it is a sweet, sweet fragrance. Like it's all sweet. There's nothing else fucking sweetness. It's a sugary, caramely, sweet fragrance. But it's really, really good. Like when you put it on, it's almost edible and it's very hard to stop sniffing. And like when people smell it, like when they're around you and stuff, they instantly want to know what it is. They instantly want to get closer because it is even her every single time I spray it, there hasn't been one time I've sprayed it where she hasn't like, ooh, that's really good. Every single time. It is that damn good. So thank you for the 2 bones.
Scroll.
Told.
I forgot to say, baby. Just
Write it down.
I already did. I've been past
Okay, you wrote
those
that
for
one
a
down?
while,
Wrote that one down?
Baby, we're
2
like
bones.
light years ahead
Well,
of
then
you.
I'm gonna just get it while I'm going past.
I'm saying
Damn.
I got him.
Custom EDC knives. I already said that one. Daniel Cad with the wheat. John Evans with the flicks. Respect. More super chats when I am flush. Thank you, man. I appreciate the donny. Daniel Cad with the love. Then we have Daniel Cad with the U. And then we have, Daniel Cad with the 50 bones. Jared and Kara, I told you.
Jared and Kara, have I told you we love you?
Thank you, man.
Damn it. That's what all the letters were.
Thank you for the 75 bones.
Probably.
Thank you so much,
There's
man.
More.
Hell yeah. Yes, there is the link to the AQUA KENZO. It is definitely one to recommend. It's so cheap. It's like $41 for, a decent sized bottle. This one will last you a pretty good while. And it's unique. You're not going to smell like everybody else in the room.
Custom AC.
Thank you, Daniel, man. That's such a good donation.
Literally just ask this. Is this a fucking troll?
Custom EDC knives with the 5 bones. My favorite's different than that. So I have a few different favorites. So one would be the 1 million Lucky. My favorite scent note because there's different fragrances. That's the thing. So when you say what's your favorite, there's winter fragrances, there's summer fragrances, there's all around fragrances. There's different fragrances for different reasons. So my going out on a date will be different than me being in an office or hanging out with the boys or something like that. Or say if I have a family event, there's all different occasions. So it's difficult to say what your favorite is. But I will say the Versace Dylan Blue is one of my favorites. It is a absolute banger. And like I said, the Coach for Men, absolute banger. Some other ones, like I said, the 1 million Lucky, that's an absolute banger. The Herrera Carolina, I can't think of the name of it. It's the yellow bottle I showed it the other day. That one's a really good one. It's kind of like the Club Diuni Intense Man. That's basically it's a Creed Avantis clone. But yeah, that's a tough one, man, because it just depends on the situation. But I would say a great all-around fragrance would be the Coach for Men. And then, like I said, the Versace Dylan Blue. Daniel Cad with another 2 bones. Flick that like. Show the channel support. Thank you. Yes, please hit the like button. It helps the channel and helps us get out in the algorithm. I traded a Rockstead for Neeves. Such a good investment. Thank you, Dan. Hey, I think that's right. I think that is definitely a good investment. Trading
also,
Rocksteads for Neeves knives.
We got 5 memberships from Rocky.
Where? I don't
You
got
can't
it.
see it.
Okay.
Just ping him and thank him.
Thank you, Rocky. We got 5 memberships. Thank you for the 5 members.
Okay, we
and shout out
have
to the new members.
A question that someone has been asking very patiently through the clone rant, which I need to find now.
Can I answer this really quick?
Yeah, go for it. Can someone tell me what Tanner's question was?
Tanner's
please?
asking,
Oh,
do you
that's
think,
the question.
do you
Tanner. Sorry, that's the question.
Do you think 1 micron gunny juice would scratch the DLC on a Rockstead? My flats look sort of cloudy after stropping, possibly to polish with flits, or will I need to send it in a Rockstead? So sending in a Rockstead will obviously be the best thing to do, but you don't have to. What I would say is do not use gunny juice. Gunny juice is diamonds. So the problem with it is it will scratch. So what you're wanting to use is more aluminum oxide based stuff. But if you're shopping the entire thing in this DLC, it's going to scratch. It's going to scratch. So use the what you're going to want to use. I'll tell you exactly what to do. So 1, get the finest, literally the finest abrasive, like stropping compound that you can get that's not diamond, because you want it, because diamonds will scratch that. That's what my point is. The aluminum oxide, it's DLC is harder than the steel it's on, so it's really, really hard. So as long as you're using like an aluminum oxide, it shouldn't scratch it really that bad, and it should basically just polish it. But you want to make sure it's at least like 0.25 micron, something like that, if not lower. So look for a 0.25 micron
says lapping film,
aluminum oxide compound, and then put it on denim jeans. So take denim jeans, cut a piece, take a piece of wood and wrap the denim jeans around it so that it's when you're sliding across it, it's almost like sliding across leather because it's denim. So it'll kind of roll just a little bit, not a lot. You don't want a lot. You want it nice and tight. So make sure it's super tight all the way around. That way, when you're stropping, the jeans goes like around the blade like this, and it can get the convex, because it's convex. That'll work really good. So that's the way to do it.
I would say, how many knives
Club
before you pass being practical and start being collecting? I'd say probably past 8 or 10. I would say 8 or more as a collection for sure at that point. Like you've started a collection, because a typical person doesn't just have 8 knives. Like that's really indicative of you want more that you don't need. I don't really know.
What are you saying right now? I don't know why. What are you saying right now?
We're talking about the difference between need and want here.
Yeah, I would say you need 10.
We're talking about
need.
Need 10. It's not about need or want. It's about at what point does how many knives turns from just practical to now I have a collection. I said probably more than 8.
Yeah,
it's about you're starting to have a collection.
I would say over 5, 6, or 7. Now you're starting to get into collecting. After 10, you're definitely getting to collecting, because I would say most people need 10. That's what I think. Like if you were gonna ask me, like, an absolute need is 5, but you really should have 10, because you should have knives for different purposes, right? Like you're not going to use a little gentleman's folder to fucking chop down something. So you need something that's heavy duty, something that's strong, something that you could survive with in a survival situation, or a hunting situation, or a camping situation. And your camping knife might be a little bit different than your hunting knife, right? So you might have a camping knife, which is something you could baton with, a hunting knife, something you could skin with, and things like that. Those are your 2 survival knives. Then you maybe need a work knife, something you can just beat on. You need a gentleman folder. Then you need something that's small for like places that you can't have, like over a 3-inch blade. Like there's just so many different purposes. And then having something, maybe if this is your thing, maybe a self-defense knife, something that is specifically, purpose driven. But it does depend on your lifestyle. Now, I would say if you work and you carry a knife to work, then you need at least 3 work knives, because 1 work knife will go dull, and you don't want to have to stop and resharpen your knife at the middle of work, right? You're wasting time. Grab another knife, sharpen them when you get home, but at least you have 2 or 3 knives to go through during the day. And then, like, say if you get off from work, right, and you've been using your knife all day, you're shit tired, you don't want to sharpen your knife right now, you can grab your other one and go back to work tomorrow and use that one. Shout out to Luck Knives. Go ahead, sorry, baby.
I think that oh, here's a question. I'm gonna get to some more questions since you guys have been doing a lot of listening. What Captain Australia, first of all, I read your earlier comment in which he said you need to do more budget knives. I actually kind of low-key agree. I think our channel needs to get more budget knives on it. We do a lot.
I do a ton.
Yeah, he does do a ton.
I literally do at least a budget knife video a week.
Actually, yeah, I'm kind of actually gonna renege on that because
yeah, you better.
Kubi sends us like piles of knives. Sadivi sends us piles of knives. I don't think that we do like a lot of like Kershaw level budget, if that's what you mean.
No, but I do 40 and under all the time. I literally just did it like 1 week ago. I did one. So
how much was that that titanium rat thing? I know it wasn't a rat.
The what?
The Ontario titanium knife. How much was that?
Oh,
it just popped in my head. If you guys didn't see that Ontario, the people that make the rat,
it was like
that you can buy at
150,
Walmart,
but
they made a new one.
I think it was like 150 or something. Oh no, sorry. It was very affordable for that one because it's OS 8. It was like $50.
Yeah.
But you can get the $100 one in S35 VN. So if you like that knife, but you don't like OS 8, get the S35 VN for $100. The Strappy Stuff XDBK polishing compound is great for mirrors, but I haven't tried it on Rocksteads. It's monocrystalline and not polycrystalline or CBN, so it's great for polishing flats. Yeah, but that's still like a diamond abrasive, at least I believe it is. And I wouldn't use it for Rocksteads. Rocksteads, you want to use certain stuff because the point is that there's a difference between polishing with a compound to a mirror and then also taking something that's already a mirror and repolishing it, because most likely you'll wind up scratching it before you polish it. You got to get something that's on another level of fine, and Rocksteads are like a complete mirror. They're like as mirror as you can get, so it's very easy to fuck that up. I don't know why I just rang that bell, but Blade Banter, shout out to Blade Banter. Haven't seen him for a minute. Practical is you know how many you have, collection is you lost track. That's funny. Yeah, that would be me. That'd be me. If somebody asked me how many knives I have, I'd be scratching my head for an hour.
Everyone's defining,
no,
or not everybody, but people. Yeah, guys, just like if I always like feel weird using this word because people always look at you weird if they don't know it. But yeah, renege means to like go back on something. It's like Indian giving, which is also a thing. People are like, but I know a lot of Indians.
Gotta have a bathroom knife. Gotta have a bathroom knife. Got to.
Yeah.
I would say, yeah, I would say that. Well, for me, I like having a lightweight knife. So like the lightweight knife would be like you're in your jogging outfit or you're in your like kind of lounging around outfit, so you don't have pockets, or maybe you do have pockets, but it's not the type of thing you put pockets in, so you put it at your waistband. That's where I do it. Put it right on the waistband. But I want something nice and light, like the new Civivi Cubit. This thing is awesome. I know some of you guys were like, oh, it's too ugly because it has that bottle opener thing, which I don't even know if they advertise it as a bottle opener, but it works great. So I'm going to say it is. But this thing's 2.5 ounces. It has like over a 3-inch blade, or like a 3-inch blade, 2.5 ounces. This thing is mega light, super duper snappy, rock solid lockup, and has thinner geometry than a damn chaparral. This thing is crazy slicey. This is a really good one. And all the people that said it's ugly, there's a lot of knives that are ugly that are fucking phenomenal.
Say it in that exact voice?
Just like that. Yeah, and I read it and I could tell. Thank you. And I could tell that it was that voice. Another one would be like the Hogue Deca. That's another good waistband knife. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was about to ask Captain Australia's actual question, which was that. Are you listening? It's for you, the question.
Okay.
What is your most sentimental knife?
Oh, the one my baby got me.
Which one?
There's
so many.
The Rockstar.
Really? That's actually what you would pick? Is the most sentimental?
Well, yeah, because it's the most expensive and you got it for me. All right?
Is that the two things? Expensiveness?
Well, but
and who got it?
But it is, though. That's the thing. Like, I can't deny that it is, right? Like the person.
So, like, if I hadn't got you,
the person who got it for me is so since you got it for me, you know, like the price tag does matter, right? Because it's like, put it this way, right? Put it this way. If you got me a $3 knife or a $2,000 knife, I'd love them both. But obviously the $2,000 knife is going to be more important.
Do you know what's interesting?
Where's my fucking jewel?
I don't know. You can use mine. Mine, I'm very different in the sense that, like, I like the most expensive knife, but like to me, like if I were you and it was my feelings, I would probably go like to Envy, right? Because to me, that was like the first like slightly fancy knife that we ever.
So you're saying I should sell the Rockstead before I sell the Envy? That's what you're saying?
No, I'm saying if there was a fire and you had to grab one, like I'm saying if we're talking about grabbing it based on sentiment, listen, based on sentimental value only, not monetary value. I'm just saying, like personally, I'm the type of person that will cling to like the memory around it, which is probably a very female thing to do.
I'm not
compared to like how he thinks.
Yeah.
But like for me, like I would probably consider
I'm very logical.
The Anteater more sentimental than a lot of knives because it was like the first nice thing.
Even if it's something I would never sell, the part of the value is still always going to be in the back of my head. It's kind of like say you run in your house because you know it's on fire and there's a briefcase with $1 million there, or there's the last picture of your mother. It's like, you know, like that sucks. You're going to lose that picture and that is a bad thing. But the $1 million actually holds a value. Like, and I've always just been raised like to kind of have that type of mindset. Like, obviously I'm very sentimental. Like you already know this. I'm super sentimental because I've lost so many sentimental things and since I was already so sentimental, I've saved and had like very, very sentimental things. Like I could literally go on and on with some of the sentimental things I've had that are not replaceable. Like it cannot be replaced. And I've had them stolen. I've lost them for different reasons. And it's killed me inside, some of the things that I can never replace again. So
yeah, I guess JD makes a good point. I guess there's the fact that I sneakily saved and spent hundreds of dollars every month for like 8 months without him noticing on it. So there's that. That makes it. I guess like the time it took me to make that happen was very premeditated. So I guess like that, like if somebody did that for me, right, like I would like look at that and be like, oh, there was a lot of like effort put into that, and that's why the value then gives it effort, not just because of the dollar amount. So there's that.
So Ricker, I would say that's not
super chat, by the way.
I'll give it to it. That's not true because, and what he says is, if you go through 3 knives a day, you should buy a different knife.
What
but
does go through mean?
Meaning like it goes dull. So what? And I don't agree because like in construction, you cut things that will dull your edge just with one cut. Like just one cut will dull the edge. So you're using it half the day or all day. Like even when I worked at the distillery and I was mostly breaking down plastic and cardboard, my edges would go dull, you know, and there'd be times that's the reason why I would carry like K390 or Maximet or something. And in many cases that shit would still go dull too. And it's just plastic straps that are heavy duty plastic straps. Sorry, I got something in my eye. And cardboard. But you know, when you're cutting so much of it a day, right, it just, you know, it's gonna mess your edge up. And then like I said, with construction, you're cutting vinyl, rosin paper, sometimes aluminum, rubber, plastic, wire. Like there's so many things you're cutting that can make your edge go dull very quickly. So I would say, and that's why I always brought a pocket strap with me, so I could strap it and then I would bring it back as many times as possible. But when I got to a point to where it's not coming back, then it's time to swap knives. Where was the super chat?
See you later, Captain. Thank you for your
questions. You, Captain.
The super chat was
I don't see anything.
Daniel Cad,
oh,
Bones, your son of wait,
no, we already got that. We already got that.
Okay. It was Dukes of Hazzard, 199 Bones. I'm not an idiot. He was like quoting you when you were saying that.
I don't have that.
Wow.
Oh, there it is. Dukes of Hazzard. I'm not an idiot. I'm not an idiot.
Did you say that to me?
I don't
That's
remember.
Rude.
I don't remember saying it. So if there was a fire here, I would end up with a lot of 3rd-degree burns because I would make multiple trips. And now, yes, I know what you mean. I told this story one time, and we're going to get the story time here in just a minute, but I told this story a few times or a couple times on the channel where my brother's or my best friend's truck was on fire. and it was right next to our house, and we were having a party. So we had a party, and there was a bunch of kids there, a bunch of animals, like 4 dogs, 12 kids. I don't even know how many kids, but a bunch of kids. And like it was like towards the end of the night. A lot of the kids were sleeping and stuff. And all of a sudden we're sitting there, and we smell something, and it's horrendous. And it smells like something's burning, right? It smells like burning rubber, because that's what it was. And just as a joke, my buddy goes, it's probably my truck on fire. And sure as shit, when we looked out, yeah, Tom, your truck's on fire. Blazing. Well, at first it wasn't blazing. So I went and tried to get the hose, right? Got the hose. But by the time I got there with the hose, like in like 35, 40 seconds, it was ablaze, the whole thing. So a hose wasn't doing nothing. And this thing is blazing so hot. There's cars in front, like right in between the house, and they're starting to melt. Like, so the garage door is melting. So it's like, oh shit, this whole place is about to burn down. So it's like, get everybody out. Right. And I'm running because like there's tons of kids, tons of animals. There's a dog left in a cage, and like I'm running out with like kids on my shoulders and in my arms, running out, getting them to safety, and then running back and getting more, right? Back and forth, back and forth. And the last one was a dog that was in a cage. And at this point, like it's getting like super duper bad. And as I'm running in, I remember somebody was screaming not to go back, right? And obviously I still went back, and I got the dog, got him to safety. But I'm not sure if I yelled it or not, but I do remember thinking it thinking it in my head, like you almost feel like and I know this is extreme, but it's just the way I guess a guy's brain works. It was almost like you're in war, and it's like you're not leaving anybody behind. Like nobody gets left behind. And I'm running out with this dog and kids, like literally holding kids like by the back of their shirt, running out with dogs on my shoulder. But so everybody wound up being fine. But the car, obviously, the fire trucks came, nothing was left. Like it was a shell. The other cars, the cars that are around, because we were able to move some cars and get them away. It blew up, by the way. Blew up, fucking boom, boom, like the tires and shit were blowing up, and that's why everybody's freaking out, because it was exploding. So it was pretty bad. It was pretty crazy. And then the car in front of it wound up melting. No child is left behind. No dogs. No nothing's getting left behind. And if it was the knives, like I could imagine, like I'd probably be going back, unless if you got like insurance on it, like. And I'll tell you what, my dad was so pissed the next day. Yeah, because I didn't let it burn.
For the insurance?
Yeah. He was so pissed. He's like, what are you, fucking stupid? He's like, you mean to tell me you have, this much insurance on that house, and you had an opportunity to let it burn? He's like, you dumb fuck. He's like, why? He's like, but to be honest, we didn't. I think the neighbors wound up calling the fire department. So I'm not even sure if we did, but they got there just in time.
James K, there probably wasn't any in there if I had to guess. Like maybe like a couple.
The house? No, that was in my big house. I had 2 houses. That was my small house. No knives were in that. They were in the big house. So there was 2 houses on,
Did you have a lot left at that
particular I had like 400 at that time. Yeah.
What?
Mm-hmm.
When I met Jared, there was no knives.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I lost them all.
Crazy. Can you guys believe that?
There was at least 250, maybe not quite 400, but there was at least 250.
I knew a no knife Jared.
I had them literally all over the walls, everywhere you could grab. You could grab a knife in that place.
Ow.
What's wrong?
I stubbed that toe yesterday.
You okay?
No.
Please. But yeah, I would definitely run in for the knives. I mean, obviously there's a level of which you're not going to run in, but I think, like if you didn't have insurance on it and you couldn't, and you couldn't replace it, man, you might tolerate a little heat, a little bit of burning, just a little bit. If you ever heard a tire explode, it sounds like a 12-inch. Yeah, absolutely. Oh man, the ones on this truck were loud, like so loud. We thought it was the actual gas tank. We thought it was the truck, but it was the tires exploding. And yeah, it was pretty loud.
Oh, I was awing at Kurt's comment. He said he lost a 3-year-old English bulldog in a house fire 2 years ago.
Oh man, I am so sorry to hear that.
They're so cute.
Yeah, I remember somebody. So there was this pet shop that I went to my entire life. Like it was like like the neighborhood pet shop, and they had a house upstairs from the pet shop, and they had like a I don't know how old, like a 12-year-old python there that was like very big, like a huge one. And they had it for like ever. And they also had like 2 dogs, and the place burnt to the ground. Every animal in
I don't
there.
like Satisfaction. Thank you for being a member for 1 month. 1 month already. Here's to many more. You guys are awesome. No, Satisfaction, you're awesome.
Stas-
Also, are you going to Blade Show? If you are, we will see you there. And we gotta. Can I have a ding real quick, please, for Daniel? A ding for Daniel. Daniel ding.
Thanks, Dan.
Daniel ding. If you have a personal property or a collection, get renter's insurance with it. I always hear that from rich people.
Yep.
For whatever you have, God, it keeps going away because you guys are chatting so much. What you have for around.
Why are you getting mad at him for chatting? What the fuck?
Like every time I try to read it, it goes down. Like I can't read it.
That's why when
I'm trying
always,
to hold it.
Go ahead.
I'm trying to hold
Hurry up.
it down.
Get to it.
I'm trying.
Captain.
I literally can't read it. Renter's insurance with endorsements for whatever you have, most of around 25 months. Okay. got it. Everyone
Blade
listen to
Banter
Daniel.
says, "What's up to Nick and going to Blade Show?"
Why are you
Yes,
reading
he is,
something?
and I know he is. Well, because I'm reading to sound him out too. So, Stasha23, shout out to him. Yes, he's going to Blade Show because we are going together. And shout out to Blade Banter. Go and follow him too.
Yeah,
He
they're
does
gonna
have a
share
channel,
bed.
and you can get some awesome content there. And also definitely go and subscribe to Stasha23 as well. Daniel Cad coming in hot with the 5 bones. That's the one you already read, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do think we should get Daniel. Maybe we should get anybody that donates more than like 5 times in one stream their own particular bell.
We have to get a new bell.
I know. I'm gonna find a new, like an additional bell. It's gonna be like the big dog bell,
and
it's gonna go ding ding like that.
Steven says, I would love to have had a story time with your dad.
Oh,
Yeah, I would too, but it would have been damn hard to get my dad on a camera.
I don't know that it would have been YouTube.
No, it wouldn't. I couldn't. That's the thing, is
Or
because
I don't feel like he would tell a story on the internet.
no,
You think he would?
no, that's why I'm telling you. Like that,
He
there,
wouldn't do
I
it.
wouldn't be able to. Like he wouldn't have
He'd
allowed himself
probably
to
be
get
mad at
filmed.
you for even telling
Oh,
stories.
dude, if I, yeah, for sure. Well, to an extent, he knows that, like, just like with him, like if he told a story, he would know what to leave out, and he trusts me. So it wouldn't be that, like, but like I wouldn't be able to tell the stories about him right now. The only reason why I can is
Yeah.
because he's dead. If he was alive, you guys, I wouldn't tell any of these stories
Why'd you emphasize the word dead so hard?
because he is. So,
Okay,
but my point though is that but he didn't like to be on camera like that. Like he had his own cameras, but that's different than like the internet. So he probably wouldn't have allowed that.
Kyle said he is modding in 2 lives right now, and this is awkward. You know, we don't
Who
really,
is?
Kyle, we don't really appreciate you
Damn it,
being
Kyle.
cheated on. I'm just gonna put it out there.
Damn it, Kyle.
We feel
See how you
incredibly
are.
betrayed. You're inadvertently forcing us into a threesome with another channel, and we don't. That's very forceful, and we don't like it.
Yes, the Rockstead Rio has ZDP 189.
I
Yes,
have
it
a thing.
does.
Talica for Life has been a member for 14
Who?
months.
Who?
Talica.
Talica. Shout out to
Talica.
Talica. Shout out to the Bang Gang squad. Seems logical says, Kara, you might as well bring down the piano in anticipation of all the people who deserve
Oh yeah,
their
just
own
you guys
games.
each get a note.
You get a
High
note.
C, low C, whatever. I would love to have the piano down here, except for like the piano's upstairs, and I can't have it down here because like I wouldn't be able to play it. I was going to buy a keyboard that I could plug like a nice 88 key full on piano, but it's a keyboard where I could plug headphones into it so that I could play down here when Jared's recording, and then I could play more than I actually get to. Because like I honestly would play more than I do, but like I never know if films are happening, so I tend to not. But with that said, I did not do that with the money I saved because we had to do the computer thing and upgrade Jared's computer, which inadvertently was me buying a new computer.
What's up, Captain? In 7 minutes, we will be doing story time.
Again?
We haven't even done story time.
What have you been doing? What was that?
What? I said I'm going to tell a story, but I said this isn't story time. Though I said we're going
I
to
think
go
you
to story.
squeezed in like 2 stories there.
Just one.
You can keep going.
Did I go? Did I do 2? I did 1.
I think you did.
No, I did 1.
No, the house.
No,
and the car.
that's 1. That's the same. That's the same one.
Oh, that's right. The car blew up.
I have 2 stories written down.
Why do I feel like
I have 2 stories written down that we're gonna get to here in a few minutes. Whoa!
Maybe you just segmented it all.
Did I just?
That's EDC with the
How did I?
13 boats with the
Thank you.
$14 yo.
Thank you, EDC. I appreciate the donation and the yo. What's up, brother? Caressing like buttons can lead to happy endings. Todd. He's right though. He's right. 13.99 Canadian dollars. How much is that in Monopoly money? Jared, you see the new Riet? Yes, the T3500. So we used to have the mini version of that. I think it was the T1500. It was just a little micro knife. It was really cool. And I've gotten to try not the 3500, but like I think the 2500 at Blade Show. I think that's what it was. And they're really cool. I think the Tashi Baruka designs, he does a really good job. I don't like that there's no choil, and that's just common with Tashi Baruka. So it's something I would just accept. And I do kind of understand, like there are some knives that you don't want those on. And the reason, the thought process behind that is that when you have a choil, when you go to make a cut, something can get caught in the choil, like an underwater dive knife. That's a knife you do not want a choil on, because when you go to use it, you're most likely going to be using it for one of two things. Either one, cutting a rope to save yourself or netting, or two, you're stabbing a shark or something. But you don't want the chances of a net getting caught around you and you trying to cut your way out and the knife getting snagged. You want to be able to just go and get your cut done. So that's the way a Tashi Baruka is. It's where as soon as you start the cut, as soon as you start it, it's going to start cutting. You're not going to get caught on anything, which is pretty cool. The Ria EXOK is cool. Might get cut though. Yeah, we have that.
Yeah,
actually,
when is that coming out? I asked
they
them.
said they didn't respond yet, but yes, we actually did some complaints about that. So they are fixing the issues, or supposedly fixing the issue. I like it too.
I like the danger. It keeps it, keeps you on your toes.
That's not the problem I'm talking about. I'm talking about the problem of failing.
I like all the danger.
You like a knife to fail?
Sometimes.
Anyways,
makes me feel like a success.
Anyway,
if
so the
something
point
around
is
me
that
fails,
you guys can go watch my video on it. When you actually use it for any sort of self-defense, it fails. So that's the problem. And I told them about it. They know about it. So they're going to fix it and it'll be good.
Oh, Chris got a cue ball. Cue ball got his Kaiser original. The one, the LC200N cue ball.
You got a Kaiser original?
Yeah, we gave it to him.
Nice.
Good
for you. Good for you on the big win.
It wasn't a win. It was
sell it and make some money.
Yeah,
that's what I'd do.
We promise we won't berate you. Anyway, yeah, he says he loves it, and that's cool. I was worried he might not, because like it's a touch smaller than what he goes for, but he said he needed a smaller knife.
Mika,
yeah.
At Blade Show, I have two different mindsets. So one, if I see something really awesome that I can't pass up, I'm going to get it. But my plan, I don't have any like huge plans, but my biggest plan is I want to get a bunch of knives that I don't have in the collection that are USA made that are already out. Like I want to get, possibly like maybe a Hogue Ritter, but maybe not. I've had one of those in the past, but maybe some Spydercos I don't have. Maybe what was the other one? There was a couple other ones that I thought of. I don't have a pair of 3 anymore. I gave that away, so I'd like to get another one of those.
Oh, you even gave away the 8.
I'd love to get. I want to get a K390 Delica. With the Warncliffe.
I said original. I meant drop bear.
Oh, okay.
Chris's knife.
That makes
the
sense.
LC200N one with
the
panel.
Yeah.
I said original. I always flip those two for some reason, because they both have that access bar.
But
thing.
I want to get stuff like that. And the reason why, just for transparency, is because one, I want them in the collection as USA made knives, but two, I can link them and I can recommend them, because I already know their knives I recommend. That's why I've given the ones away I have. And they're knives I can recommend to people. They're knives that do really good as far as recommendations go. And it's good to have an amazing collection of knives that are recommendable, so that I can link them and shit like that. And I'm not saying like that's all I'm going to get. If there's something new that I really like, I'm going to get it. It's just my plan is there's some knives I want back in the collection, or I want part of my collection. And that's why I'm going to try to go that are USA made, or made in Taiwan or Italy or something like that. I'm trying not to go for anything overseas. Not saying I won't buy something for overseas, but I'm talking about for as far as linking wise and having, part of the collection. Jared, what's your most overbuilt knife? probably the 4 Max, to be
What?
honest. So the 4 Max, but really though, the Max Ace Hephaestus it's got like 3 locks on it. So it's got a pin. It's super thick, like very robust, super robust lock. Then it's got a lock on its lock, and then it's got a pin that goes in it. So it's got a triple reinforced lock. That's probably my strongest one. And then probably the 4 Max would be next, because I doubt the 4 Max could take as much weight as that thing. That thing would probably take over 1,000 pounds, but I don't know. It's never been tested, and maybe I will. Whole gritter, $400. There ain't no way. They're normally like $160. The TRM Shadow. So I have a Shadow. I would love to get a titanium one. But is this your full-time job? Yes, this is my full-time job now. Yes, it is. Have you tried the Kubi Avenger? I don't think I have.
Wait, no, yeah, we have. That sounds so familiar. Kubi Avenger.
Look it up. Maybe I have. Look it up.
Hold on, I'm right in the middle of doing something.
Does the kukri count as an overbuilt if it's a fixed blade? No, it does not. It has to be a locking knife to be considered overbuilt. Get a K390 stretch too instead. So I've had this stretch, and that's another one. Exactly. So like things like that I want to get. So I wish they would do the K390 stretch with a compression lock. I know it's basically like a PM2. Whatever you want to give away, you got my address. Don't stress yourself with it. I take care of it. I'll remember that, Dennis, and I definitely will keep you in mind. Hey, Daniel Cab with another 5 bones. Jared and Kara, can we do a gift exchange at Blade Show? Yeah.
What's that mean?
I mean, we'll get him a gift and he'll get us a gift.
For who? For who said
But
that?
we have to have a price range,
Who said that?
because I don't want you outshining us.
Who said that?
Daniel Cat.
Oh,
CAD Master. What do you think of the Lomic custom whippersnapper bolster lock S90V? I love it. So I love the whippersnapper already, and the whippersnapper has some of the best front flipping action of any front flipping knife. It's just the way it's positioned and the way the D10's tuned. It's an incredible knife with reverse flicking or top flipping. So yeah, I love it. And with a bolster lock, it makes it even cooler. I don't have a bolster lock version, but I've tried it and I liked it a lot. I have to buy real maple syrup. Can't do the fake stuff. There you go. Bang, bang. Avenger is in titanium. I don't know if I've seen that. I don't think I have that. Kukri doesn't have a lock, but it can sure as hell break down. That's true. That's true. Yeah, that would be on the extreme of hard use. That's it. So with certain fixed blades, especially like Kukris, you can't consider them hard use, or sorry, you can't consider them like, overbuilt because they are hard use knives, right? Like that's what they're for. What is it?
I think I just saw this a lot and then we didn't. Where the hell did it go? It looks like very geometric. Hold on, I'll just show it to you here.
Oh yeah, I've seen it. We have, so we do have a liner lock version. We have the budget liner lock version.
My phone died.
Kurt with the 5 bones. Jared, did you see the Pete and Cedric and Ada test on 15V? What's your thoughts on 15V? Yes, I did. And holy cow, I am not going to give away the results. Go and watch that video, guys. So he did one the other day, and then he posted another one today. I think it was today. So the one the other day was just on the factory edge, I believe, and then the one today was with a sharpened edge, with a good quality edge. And damn it, man, insane. I never would have expected it to get that good of results. I got some cut tests coming up too myself, so I'm really interested in seeing how some of this steel does that I'm going to be testing. But yeah, that's on another level. I'm so glad I got that, the 15V. Have you seen the Tucson TS390? I have not seen that. I haven't been following Tucson's lately. Not that I won't, but it's just I haven't. I was a little upset at some of my most recent purchases, and and just stuff like that. And I don't know. I feel like, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I just need to try more. But I feel like they started falling off. So like at the time, like a couple years ago, they were like on top of their shit. It seemed like they even if they had knives that weren't your flavor or your style, they still were good. Now I've had so many lemons, it's almost like they're just pumping them out as fast as they can, not even quality control checking them, because I've had too many little things that are like, how'd they let this go? But they do have some really good ones still. And there's knives I 100% recommend, but the knives I recommend are knives that are already existing. Now, I'm not saying they don't have more good ones. I want to try them for sure. I've just been very weary on investing my own money because of those reasons, because I would invest a bunch of money and then it seemed like 3 out of 4 were not that good. Knifeworks dropped some OG Max Ace Babylons. I went instantly to get one when I got the email. Wasn't quick enough. Bummed about that. That sucks, man. Every time when that happens. Any thoughts between the SC or Winkler knives? Awesome. Both of them are great. I think SE probably has the best warranty in the business. Pancakes in the morning. I would go more eggs and ham, eggs and bacon. That's more my style. I try to stay away from the bad carbs, but there is a way you can make protein pancakes, and those are pretty fire. They, they don't taste as good as regular pancakes, but they're like 10 times healthier for you. So instead of being like just like packed with carbs and like just sugar, you can get it packed with protein with low carbs, and that's a good way to eat it if you're going to eat pancakes for breakfast. Yes, baby. I'll tell you what.
I show them the video of my organization.
You made a video just now?
Just the cabinets.
You can go ahead in 1 second.
Okay, but because I found this Max Ace and I'm so proud of my inventory and how easy this was to find. Somebody was saying this looked interesting. So why don't you show it?
Someone might be sending me a
KENZO.
KENZO. This one isn't it though. You know that, right?
I know, but somebody asked and said it looked interesting. So I'm just saying you should show it.
Here is
that's what we
the Max Ace Titanus or something like that.
Should be that if it's not.
Titanus or
Titan
or something.
Honestly, the whippersnapper, like, it's good, guys, but I think it's a little like I think it's great. Don't get me wrong, but I think there's a lot of other knives in that price range that you might like also like. If that makes sense.
But what about USA made and custom?
There's a lot of that. A
what?
lot.
Name one.
A lot.
Okay, a lot means you don't have
a
one.
lot. Knives makes them.
So yeah, the whippersnapper is great.
Whipper.
But it is expensive though for what you're getting. You are paying a heavy price.
Okay, do you guys want to see all our knives?
And then look, this is the pin I was talking about. This isn't that knife, but this has the same type of pin action. You put a pin through there, and then you can't close it. But look at it. Wham. That thing's a beast, man. Fucking chop shit with that. You okay?
Yeah, I have to make this work though. Can you make it work?
Yeah, hardware. Go ahead.
Can you make this? Okay. I know this is a super jank way of doing this.
Let me move this.
This is how you guys are getting it.
Get it. Get that new whippersnapper. It's good.
Look at that. Check it out, boys. Look at that organization.
That's an empty. These are empty buckets.
No, those aren't.
Those were. Nah, they're pretty much empty though.
Boom. It's all lettered, organized. There's the knives behind the buckets too. That's my weight. Sorry. Bam. That bucket's full. Bowl. Those guys are full right there. And then
you can't even see how many cases.
Oh, sorry, I'm lowering on accident. And then the cases, bam. Here we go. Ready? Speed opening them. There's like 50 knives in each hole because they're not being shuffled around, so it's fine. Don't worry. I tried not to do titanium on tie. Boom. Shakalaka. This last one's a little case, and I really, really struggle to open it, so I do apologize.
Why didn't you pause it?
Because I can't do that.
Oh, your phone sucks.
Look at all that, guys. That's like probably about half of the knives right there.
About 3/4.
No, there's probably
maybe half.
Yeah. No, about half. Probably about half. Maybe a little
yes, Kodiak pancakes. Yes, those are protein pancakes. Yes, Kodiak pancakes are protein pancakes. Yo, Kara, I'm just now seeing this Rockstead neck knife. I'm sure you've seen
that. What? Also, Experience Precision. We do giveaways every single month. It's like 6 knives a month, or anywhere between like 3 to 6 knives a month on Patreon. That's where we funnel all the giveaways to. For members and the rest of the lives, we do them just randomly. Honestly.
Yeah, we give away a lot on Patreon, but we also give some to the members.
Right now, I'll be very transparent with you guys. We just did a massive giveaway for our moderators, thanking them for the work we've did. So that's all.
How much money?
More than $2,000 worth. So anyway, that's why right now we're not doing one, but there will be more giveaways. I promise. I absolutely promise.
We constantly do giveaways, guys. Behind the closed.
I know you are. I know you're not being like, give me.
No. And we would do a giveaway right now, but we are definitely going to do a giveaway probably on our next membership live because we have not given anything away in like 5 episodes for the members. So we'll be definitely doing one of those. And then we also have an MSI that we're giving away. It's brand new in the box right there. You guys can't see it because Kara's head's in the way, but it's right up there.
I need it. I just need it. The Rockstead.
You don't even like straight backs.
That is a lie. I don't like Persians, and I don't like.
That's like a Persian.
No, it's not. Look, they can't even see it. It's not a Persian. That's not a Persian.
It's a straight back.
Right. It's a straight back with a little.
No, we have not. That's what I mean. We have the Microtech back there. I'm going to be giving that away when we do the next Patreon giveaway, and somebody's going to win that. We'll have 2 other things too, at least. So we're going to do 3 giveaways for the next, at least 3, maybe more, but at least 3. And one of them is the MSI. So that literally covers basically what we make on Patreon.
Kyle said, wow, those mods asking for a lot. No, every mod was.
They didn't ask.
They didn't ask. I forced it upon. He knows that.
Daniel with the 2 bones.
That's really quick. There is also another woman who watches who I gave a titanium.
Do we have a secretary on Patreon?
Do you have many secrets? I don't know how many we have right now. I would need to look. We have in the past. I know we've also lost them in the past. I do not expect somebody to pay $50 a month just to do a giveaway. That's really for people that just want to give extra love and that's how they choose to do it.
Yeah, we
are really planning on trying to merge the
everything over to members
here because it's very like it would just be easier to like, why not have the free content and the giveaways be going to the same group of people instead of the Patrons getting this and the members getting that? Because then we have to double what we do, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
A prettier version. What? Is it not wooden? Is that the difference?
Let's see it. But yeah, I want to get more people over to the members and possibly shut down the Patreon like within like the next 6 months or something, maybe a year or something, just because we lose on it and we'd like to just bring everybody over here. And because then I have one platform where I can post content, which don't get me wrong, Patreon would be awesome to post content on, but we just don't do good on there. So. Oh, a more affordable one. How much was the other one?
No, that one's less money. Or that one's more money.
This one's more money than one with
like
then you want the other one.
No.
Yeah, because the other one has a damn handle.
No, I like this one.
This one doesn't have a handle.
It is a handle. It's all in one.
And that's my point.
It's very thoughtful.
That's my point.
Why have a handle when the handle can just be the knife?
Yeah, I find it in bad taste when people ask for free stuff.
Hurtful.
I don't. I really don't care. I expect people to ask for giveaways because we do so many, and we encourage giveaways on our channel, so we don't mind if people ask for them.
We low-key have had people back in the day be like, "Give me a knife." We're like, "All right," and they're like, "Wait, really?" We kind of stopped doing that just because it's a little bit unfair.
It got to the point where I think people were telling people. And I started having like 10 people a day.
Because it was fun.
But I did do it like the first 10 times.
Yeah.
Like the first 10, 15 times somebody says, hey, can I please have a knife? Yeah. Let me check this out. At least 35 people at least have asked me for a knife. And I said, sure, get a hold of me on email or get a hold of me on Instagram. And they never contacted me.
Yeah.
So they had enough encouragement to leave a comment about it, right? To say that they wanted one. But then when I tried to give them one, and the one guy left it like 5 times. He literally, like in every video, he would ask me in every video, I'd say, when are you going to send me your damn address? Yeah. And I'd tell him, send me your address, send me your address. And he would refuse. So that means that he would leave a comment and never look at who commented back. Yeah. Or if anybody commented back.
No one would answer. That's why.
And think about it. He lost his opportunity to get like a badass knife. That's EDC with the 7 bones. It may be a weird question, but makes sense with the chat. Do you guys love maple syrup? I do.
That's a strong word.
I love maple syrup, but I gotta be careful, man, because like I'm trying really hard to not eat garbage, and like
he used to eat all the garbage can all the time.
Yeah, garbage is my thing.
It was a problem. He was like,
it's tough.
I would go out back
It's
and I
tough.
would hear, and it would be like Jared out there with the raccoons and the garbage, and he would be like acting like a raccoon. It was crazy. He even brought home a girlfriend that was a raccoon. It was like this whole ordeal. I've learned to love him again beyond it, but it was a struggle for sure. Yeah,
But
it was
yeah,
rough,
I'm
rough
trying.
times in the Neves household.
Yeah, I'm
for sure.
trying though to
Definitely.
stay away from
You
stuff
know
like
what I
that.
mean?
Check this out.
Hard times.
For a couple weeks, I didn't eat hardly any carbs. Yeah, I heard you.
You're just like, I'm just gonna talk. till
Yeah,
she
just
stops
get through it because you've been talking about me eating out of garbage can for 5 minutes now, so I'm trying to get past it. But no, I was trying to stay away from carbs, and I didn't eat much carbs for like 2 weeks, and then I wound up eating a bunch of French toast, like
You
3 or
just went on
4
a
French toast.
toast
I went on a
binge?
French toast binge, well, just one time, and I devoured it. And I'll tell you what, I realized right then how shitty it makes you feel, because for like 2 weeks, I had so much energy, and like my brain was like functioning really good. Like my focus, everything was just like on point. Then I ate that shit, and I literally felt like I was lazy, foggy, like my memory and everything was like slowed down. Like I realized, like, damn, this shit really does fuck you up. Like you don't realize it until you stop it. And Chris Jones is a poker player. He says, I have a lot of poker players in my family. I've grown up playing a lot of cards, a lot of different poker games, because my family, I'm not going to say they're gambling addicts, but they're definitely all gamblers. And I grew up gambling. Like, our holidays, we had a poker table and everybody was gambling. We'd have between 1 and 3 tables of cards going at a time, playing different games of poker. And yeah, it was always a great time. So yeah, I love playing cards and stuff. Tell us a
they want
story.
you
Yes,
to-
we gotta go to story time.
All right,
Yes.
I'll take the max ace. I'll see you guys
You're
later.
leaving? All right.
Well,
Yeah,
I
it's
hate
fine.
just going like this. Look.
Well, you normally sit in the chat just like now. You were just doing
Well,
that.
but I
So
will.
don't-
But listen,
go ahead.
But no, let me tell you something.
Do what you gotta do.
If I sit in the chat while you're telling a story, I 1,000% will interrupt you like 6 times.
Okay.
It will happen.
Well, I only have a couple
Because I
minutes
can't
left.
help
So
it. If they ask questions, I feel bad and I want to answer.
that's all right. I
them.
only have a couple minutes left, so it's fine.
Well, you gave me a dead thing.
That's yours, not mine.
That's also mine.
Well, I'm keeping this one until.
All right. That's fine. I'll be okay with nothing. I'll be all right.
You have another one?
It's dead. That's okay.
Oh, here.
All right.
Find mine and then I'll...
Guys, I had a fun time with you tonight. Remember,
What?
keep the positive message of keeping your head in the grind. Don't worry about other people.
Grinding.
If people worry about you, defend yourself. But at the end of the day, do you get your bag, girl? Be the queen that you are.
So I have 2 pretty quick stories. So these are not going to take very long. So we only have about 10 minutes left anyway. So the one story is a time I was working in North Chicago. For those of you who don't know, North Chicago is an absolute shithole. It's a dump. It's basically just like all... What's wrong? What are you
Found
doing?
your thing.
Oh, thank you.
Switch.
It's basically all gang violence and everything. There is a Navy base there. So if anybody's been in the Navy, right? If anybody's in the Navy, you might have been to the Navy base in North Chicago. Like I know Mike Emler's been there. It's a pretty common place for people in the Navy, but they don't leave the base, right? Because they have everything they need on the base, and it's not safe for them to leave the base. And I'm positive that on the base, they tell them, if you leave, make sure you go straight out. Like, don't go to stores in this area. Don't go to gas stations. Literally, as soon as you leave, just go straight out, because it is a pretty bad place. So I grew up like working there my whole life, doing construction and everything. And one day I was on a job. I actually told this story a long time ago, but it's been a while. So I'm on a job and I'm doing siding, fascia, and I don't think I was doing gutters. I think I was doing siding, fascia, and then like capping windows. So it's probably like a 4-story. No, it's probably like a 3 to 4 story house. And I'm up on a scaffold, right? Up on a scaffold, and we're hanging siding. So, when you're doing that, you're banging hammers so much, and you have saws going and everything, bang, bang, bang. So it's so loud. You kind of close everything else out, sirens and gunshots and shit, because you're hammering, and you're hammering right next to your ear. So the sound of a hammer right next to your ear is pretty damn loud. So I didn't realize it because I'm on the wall working, and my brother's right next to me. We're both working side by side. and somebody's on the ground passing the shit up. I think there was, but regardless, we're up here together, and you know, we're hammering, and next thing you know, we turn around and we see we're surrounded by cops, and there's a fucking guy laying there dead. So what happened was there was, while we were working, there was a drive-by, and a guy got shot in the head and was laying there fucking dead right there. Like I could literally spit on him because it was in the next yard right next to us. So I'm up on the wall, literally right here. There's a guy laying there dead. And I don't know who he was or anything like that. It's just one of the houses in North Chicago. But no, it's crazy that we didn't hear the gunshot, or at least don't remember it. Even if we did hear it, we probably wouldn't have paid attention because, you know, like I said, we're banging hammers, and we didn't even hear, you know, like pay attention to the sirens and the fact that cops are already there, which is pretty crazy because they're not fast there. They're not very quick. I remember even seeing one time a drive-by that happened, and it took the cops like 15 minutes, 20 minutes to get there, and, you know, like do an investigation or whatever, you know, and basically like pick up the shells. You know, they blocked off the road, they pick up the shells and everything, and blah blah blah. But it took them forever. So it was like, if somebody was shot, they would have died. Like there was no way they would have made it in time. But anyways, the second story is I thought that was a pretty quick one. The second one is also in the same town, North Chicago. And this is when I'm younger, so I'm a kid. I'm not a man at the time. I'm more younger, but I grew up doing siding and every type of construction. And at this time I was doing siding with my dad. My dad was teaching me siding. So we were doing siding, fascia, and gutters, and we're on a house, and my dad is he's been working on it for like, I don't know, like 2 weeks or something, maybe like a week. I don't know how long. And there's this what the hell are they called? Oh man, I can't even think right now. The inspector. So the inspector was there, and this guy was an absolute dickhead. My dad fucking hated him, and this guy was always like coming up with petty shit. And my dad had already dealt with him multiple times. Well, don't get me wrong, my dad was kind of pulling some shit because of the place it was. Because like we had this saying that, you know, when you're doing work in North Chicago, like you'd be like, well, this ain't Highland Park, right? Meaning like you can kind of fuck around and rig things. And then when you leave North Chicago and you work somewhere else, the saying is, this ain't North Chicago, right? So you have to do the job right. And so my dad is not doing the appropriate job. And basically what he's doing is he's skipping the Tyvek, some of it, not all of it, but some of it. And he's doing it on walls that wouldn't matter as much, but it's still, you're supposed to wrap every wall with Tyvek before you side. And he's trying to save dollars on that or something. And the inspector comes like while we're around a corner, right? And because normally my dad wouldn't let anybody see anything, he'd, you know, just slap up the siding so you can't really see it, and then act like you're hanging it right over it, over the siding, you know, before the next pieces go up. And the guy comes and he starts saying that we have to tear everything. Starts saying something like he's fining us for something. And my dad goes ape shit, like just absolute ape shit. And the guy got terrified and wound up running from my dad took out his hammer. And well, first off, he took out his hammer and like started threatening to kill the guy. And then instead of going after the guy, he went after the house. And I watched my dad sit there and fucking tear down. Like remember, we were on the job for a while because we were dealing with this inspector. So like 2 weeks worth of work, not that it takes 2 weeks to do a siding job, but when you're dealing with a bunch of bullshit and everything. And, you know, there was other work that had to be done there too, you know, from windows installments, you know, Tyvek, shit like that. So my dad just starts tearing down this shit, just breaking holes right through the fucking house, tearing this stuff apart and absolutely destroying the house. And I'm just sitting there like, I don't know, 12 years old, 13 years old, and watching my dad just go absolute crazy. And this inspector literally ran because he was so terrified. And we wound up leaving that job and never coming back, never doing it again. And that inspector, I remember we seen him like months later, and I remember everybody always had a problem with this guy though. So I do think, you know, I don't know, but I would imagine, you know, something probably happened with him in his job because he was such a dick. Not that I know of anything happening, but what an asshole. Anyways, I understand inspectors have a job to do. And a lot of times, a lot of the inspectors are actually really cool. And they know how to talk to you and cooperate with you to help you do the job appropriately. But some of them are literally looking for things, and they will fail you for the dumbest things, like something that it's like it takes 2 seconds to do. Like, don't, anyways, doesn't matter. But yeah, that neighborhood though, it was like on the job site, you're always watching. Like say if we poured concrete, you'd have to sit there and watch it because kids would come, and scarred up. And I know that goes with anywhere, but this is just a little bit worse of a place because you're guaranteed it's gonna happen. No matter how many barricades you put, no matter how much you wrap it, you leave for 3 minutes, there's gonna be gang signs all over it. So and then just being there, period, like when you're working your trailers or whatever your tools are in, you're always watching it because they will be in there grabbing tools, and literally next week they'll be selling them back to you. And I'm not kidding. Like literally they'll forget who they stole it from. They won't know exactly who they stole it from. They'll just know there was a work trailer on this block last week, and now this week there's another worker, right? They won't know it's the same guy, and they'll go back and try to sell you your own tools back. That's happened a bunch of times. I remember my uncles, man, they'd always take care of the guys though around the neighborhood really well, whether it was throwing them a few bones or, buying things from them because like they'd come around like, oh, I have this. So, can you buy it? And my uncles would buy the stuff, even though they didn't need it, just to help take care of the neighborhood a little bit, which did make them have a good reputation. Like everybody knew them, everybody was cool to them, everybody was kind to them, and it does make it to where you could be in a real bad area and everybody love you, and that's how my family was. They were always, and just like with myself too, you take care of those around you, even in the bad areas with the shitty people. Take care of them. It'll only do you good in the end. Of course, there's going to be a little taken advantage of you, but you'd rather be the one people are coming to for things than the person that needs to go to people for things, right? And my uncle taught me that. My uncle said it to me because I told him one time, I was like, why are you doing that for this guy, man? He's a piece of shit. And he said, Jared, you'd rather be the person that people come to for help than the person that has to go to people for help. And he said, certain people you gotta, and he said this, like, I'm not saying people are dogs, but he said certain people you got to treat like dogs. You got to feed them so they don't turn on you. They're very loyal to you because you take care of them. Chris Jones with the 5 bones. Jared, I'm out. Read the complaint email I sent you about all the fragrances you got me buying. You'll laugh later, fellow members. Thank you, man. Thank you for the 5 bones. And hell yeah, man. I'm actually going to check that out because I think that is awesome. And you know what? Shout out to you for fucking smelling good, right? A lot of these other guys, I know there's a few fragrance guys in here. So, shout out to all you guys. Shout out to all you guys that actually care about what you smell like. Because I'll tell you what, those of you that go to Blade Show, you're going to see there's going to be a lot of people that don't. And it's not even just there, it's anywhere. Like I told you guys a story the other day where I got in my Uber and I wanted to fucking vomit. I'm talking about like straight piss. It's like, how do you let it get this bad that you don't notice it? And that's what people do. They'll be in their own filth so much they won't even realize how bad they stink. And I'm talking about like on another level. This isn't like something like, oh, he kind of stinks, he's just used to it. No, this is as soon as you get in, like you're wanting to throw up. Like, what is going on? How do you let yourself get this bad? But you get tolerant because you're so used to it. And that's why I sit there and advocate for men. Smell good, feel good, be fresh, wash your face, do fucking things that are healthy for you and the people around you, man, because obviously the better you are, the more you're going to surround people around, more people are going to surround you that are good people and care about you. And yeah, I think it's good to smell nice and fresh and good. That doesn't mean you need 100 fragrances. That doesn't mean you need fragrances, but you should have, a good hygienic system, right? Usually I'd say my dad could beat up your dad, but your dad sounds like yeah, he actually was. He was a real tough guy. He, not trying to toot horns or sound tough, but no, he was a tough motherfucker. I remember there was this, I've seen him in a few fights, but I remember this one guy, he was a massive dude, like a beast. And a lot of people were scared of him. And I remember he was like talking shit one time. And he was like saying like how, you know, he could kick anybody's ass or whatever. And my dad literally stood up and then bet him that he couldn't beat him. And he already knew, because he knew my dad and knew the reputation. My dad was my dad was like 6'1". This guy was like 6'6", 6'7", massive dude, big ass dude. And dude backed down so fast because, like, you know, like he just kind of knew my dad's reputation. And also I think there was just that fact that he had the balls to step up to him, because most people wouldn't, because of his size and everything. So most people would back off from him. But since he didn't, you know, dude wound up backing down. Daniel Cad with the 5 bones. Fun facts: a hammer swinging against a nail is between 120 to 140 decibels. A 22 long rifle is 140 decibels, and a rifle or common round is 175 decibels. Fun facts. That's awesome. And you know, a hammer swinging against a nail, you know, and then you also have, aside from the nail, the wall, right? Because like in certain areas, like when you're hammering, the echo is going right out right to you. Like there's times where you can hear somebody hammering, you know, 3 blocks away, just because of the wall they're hammering on and the way it echoes through, you know, in between the houses or whatever. So yeah, I imagine there's even it gets even louder with certain nails and certain walls and certain areas. It's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. That's absolutely right. Yes, it is. And you know, there's obviously weight classes, right? But when it comes to street fighting, you know, especially like when you're in a ring and there's rules, you know, obviously, you know, size can matter, you know, maybe not always, but it can, right? There's a reason why there's weight classes and things like that. There's a reason why men don't fight women, right? There, you know, strength is a huge thing, but obviously, you know, your mind is the most important thing, right? Having an understanding of fighting and then having the fight in you, right? Being tough-minded and being yeah, you know, just having a lot of fight in you, you know, not willing to back down and keep coming back and keep pushing. A lot of people get knocked down really quickly and then don't want to get back up because they don't want to push on or don't want to continue to fight or don't want to get hurt more. And then there's other people that just don't stop. They don't stop. It doesn't matter how hurt they get, doesn't matter anything. They just keep going, keep getting up, keep getting up, keep getting up. And I think that most men should strive to be that. And it doesn't necessarily have to be fighting. I'm not saying it has to be fist fighting. I'm saying in anything. It could be in just work, in labor, in family, in friends, in, you know, your neighborhood, you know, just being an asset to everybody around you and being somebody who never stops, right? Always pushes on, always willing to fight. Oh, and I don't mean like physically, but I just mean like, you know, period, like just willing to fight for things and go and being a go-getter. That's what I'm trying to say. Because being a go-getter is such a huge thing these days, man, because there's so many people that are not, man. It's kind of sad, you know, seeing some of the people, how what they're willing to go through and not do. And and listen, I feel for the guys, man, because I know a lot of them, you know, it's stress, it's anxiety, it's depression, it's so many things. And I wish I could get in their head and help them, you know. Now they mostly use nail guns. Yeah, well, we use nail guns then too. Fuck, I've been shot with a nail gun, but not for sighting. You still use a hammer and nail for a lot of things. Even when you build houses, like when I did carpentry, obviously we use nail guns all day, but there'd be a lot of times you couldn't use a nail gun. So, you know, it just depends on what you're doing. And then, and yeah, you know, there's just some jobs that a nail gun is not appropriate for. So that's why you still always wear a hammer. And you know, with certain things, you're going to be using your hammer all day. Like I said, like sighting, you're using a hammer. What's up, Daniel? Daniel was used generation after generation, getting weaker and weaker. Yeah, that's true, man. But you know what though? It's on us to change that. You know, obviously it's gonna happen regardless, but we should do our best to make the men that are left resilient and tough-minded, and also have good mental talk. I said this on the podcast last night. Guys, watch that podcast tomorrow. I'm going to post a link to it as soon as I get it in the community posts. But I said this in yesterday's podcast, that because remember, it's for men. That's what it's basically for. And I said that our mental talk has to be good. We have to get better at it. And I think that that's one thing that I've always had that I'm blessed to have. Meaning when I'm talking to myself in my head, I'm rooting myself on, and I'm talking good. I'm never tearing myself down. I'm never saying I can't do it. I'm never saying you're weak. I'm never saying, you know, you're hurt. I'm sore. I'm scared. Like, I never talk like that. I always talk with a go-getter mindset. Like keep pushing. You're tougher than this. You're a beast. You can do this. You know, like I keep egging myself up. I keep telling myself, even when like I do think of like not doing something, like say in the morning, I'm like, man, I don't want to get up. My mental talk is like, get the fuck up, you bitch. Quit being a little bitch and get the fuck up. And then I'll jump right up. Because I'm not going to sit there and argue with my own mind. Right. But I do that with a lot of things. I literally do that with so many things. And I think that that is a problem that a lot of men have, is their mental talk is pussified and it's weak and it's not good. It's not healthy. Right? If you were encouraging yourself constantly and talking really good to yourself, and I literally mean talking good to yourself, rooting yourself on, being the best cheerleader for yourself, man, the things you can accomplish is amazing, because you're like, you have a cheerleader next to you, right? And it's just you egging yourself on and talking good to yourself. And then when things happen, things that are bad, continue talking good to yourself, continue rooting yourself on. Like, say if there's something out of your control, you can say that, like, this is not even in your control, but you're tougher than this. You can keep pushing. You're going to take care of it. You're going to handle it. And I think if you do that, you're going to spiral up, right? Obviously, if you do the opposite, you're going to spiral down because you're talking negative to yourself. And I think a lot of us know, that this is happening all around us right now. Like, it's almost like an epidemic. So it's on the strong men to make a difference and change it, right? It's not on anybody else. It's on nobody else. It's the men's fault, and it's on the men. So heard on Joe Rogan, hard times create strong men create good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times. And that is an absolute fact. And it just, it, right? We all know it. And that's obviously what's happening now. I think the last generation was, they created such good times, being such strong men. But it's just crazy to me that there were such strong men, and it's kind of weird to raise weak men. But I do think that, just being, because for me it was different. Like, I'm sure a lot of other people were probably very comfortable, but I grew up rough, like really rough. Like, I fucking struggled. I was fighting every day. I getting robbed and being poor. I've stood in food lines. I've lived in, Section 8 projects. Like, I've been through a lot. So, like, it was tough for me, and I had to work construction. So I'm telling you, like, from like 10 years old, I had a full-time job doing construction. And so hard work was something that I knew so well, and I wanted it. I wanted to do it. Like, my dad would influence me to do it. Like, he'd encourage me to be a hard worker, be strong, be tough, get out there and work, earn your own. Like, if I was like, I'm hungry, Dad, he'd be like, well, you better go fucking work. That's what my dad would tell me. And I'm glad he did that. I'm glad, even if it was too young to do it, I'm glad he did it, because it made it to where by the time I was 12 years old, I knew how to do construction, and I knew how to operate and move around men that were working hard. And I remember there were days, man, my hands would be bleeding, my feet bleeding, knots all over my head, and I'm ready to fucking collapse. But I'd keep pushing because the other men around me were pushing, right? So I didn't want to be the weakest one on the job site, even though I technically was. Do you know what I mean? Because I was the youngest. the weakest, the lightest, the everything, the least experienced, but I didn't want to seem that way. I wanted to be an asset, even if I was among the hardest leather neck motherfuckers there was. So I'm not going to say it backfired because it didn't. It was always a good thing, but there were days, man, I felt like I was going to die. But that also in the future, when I would run into hard jobs, it wouldn't be that hard because it's like I would think back, like, oh, well, remember when it was 110 degrees in that hole, and and the thing was filled with water, and we're slipping and diving in mud all day, and so it just makes other times not that bad. Just like when it's hot, it's like, oh, you think this is hot? Well, try going up in a 120-degree attic and then having to work for 3-4 hours. Daniel Cad with the 2 bones, a nail gun, decibels around 97. Even less. You'd think that would be louder because I know we had nail guns on the jobs that actually had like a little 22. I'm not sure the exact size, but that's what I would imagine. It was maybe 22 or something like that. Probably more like a 22 short, but it actually had little bullets, and they just didn't have, obviously a bullet. It was just the gunpowder, and you'd have to load the nails. And so Top G out there parking Cadillacs at 12 like the good fellas by the sound of this dad. Our age, I actually was doing that, to be honest. My dad taught me how to drive a stick shift at like the age of 11 or something. And he was having me bring vehicles back and forth from an area where a lot of men kicked it to an area where they could park cars. And I was bringing them back and forth. Our age, Menayer, the last hardworking generation in America, 35 to 40 years old. I agree with you, Jared. But like I said, man, it's on us, man. It's on the men to help the other men. It's easy to say people are weak, but what are we doing about it? You gotta wash your crack. You definitely gotta wash your crack. Definitely clean the crack. Your dad literally gave me the best gift of all. You can give Your dad literally gave you the best gift of all. You can give a man a fish and he will be good for a day, but you can teach him how to fish and he will be good for life. That's the truth. And I've always had that mindset too, because my whole family's like that. Like my uncles, man, my uncles taught me so much, and I'd be out there working hard. And even to this day, I can 100% rely on them. I don't pull the card that often, but I could at any time. And they're just like they have so much knowledge, and I respect it so much. They're such hardworking animals. And back then, man, watching these men just bust their ass. I mean, like beyond like recognition. Like I just mean like just destroying their bodies and busting their ass and working as hard as anybody could, because it wasn't union. You didn't get no damn union breaks. There was no such thing. I'm talking about like they damn near torture. But when you see it and you watch it and you experience it, it makes it to where you're going to be tougher on other jobs and have a little bit more grit. I know a guy whose dad got him a hooker at the age of 13. That's funny. A 13-year-old hooker is too. Oh fuck! Don't eat chicken after midnight, folks. The mental attitude you just described saved me many times. I'm happy to hear that. And I wish more men had that mentality, because I do think a lot of it is mentality. It really, really is. I can't tell you how many people I hear and this is where this is coming from. Like I hear men on the internet and they say things that when I listen to it, it's like, how dare you? Like, how could you say that to yourself? How could you say that to yourself or allow those words to come out of your mouth amongst other men? Here's an example, right? And this has nothing to do with mental talk, but this has to do with just men. So there's this video going around of these girls pranking their boyfriends or their husbands, right? They're pranking them by acting like something scary. So like they'll be standing there and they'll point at something and then start screaming and jumping and freaking. And they play it off good, like there's really something there. Now, a lot of people would think it's a mouse, a rat, something like that. But then sometimes they'll point to things that are standing or like that are like a doorway or something. So you might think it's a person. And I'm sure the men that were stoic were just clipped out. But every man I seen got so scared. It's not that you jump. It's not that you tremble. The sad thing was they ran. The men fucking ran. And sometimes ran in front of their girlfriends, not in front of them towards the danger, in front of them to get the fuck out. And like, it just is like, man, can you imagine being the girl, right? Being the girl that now has your man on camera, being scared of something he can't even see, doesn't even know what it is, and freaking out to the level of which he runs and leaves you behind. Or runs in general, doesn't run towards it. As if your answer is anything but run towards it, then come on, like you're supposed to be the protector of your family. And if your girl's screaming and obviously pointing at something that could possibly just be a mouse, what are you scared of? What are you running from? And let's pretend it was something bigger. Who cares, right? It's your duty to intercept that, right? That's your duty. So to watch these men do that, I can't help but think like these women have got to realize, like, man, I am with a bitch. Like, if anything happened, like, let alone if, we wound up getting attacked in an alley or something, right? Let alone if that happened. If a fucking mouse jumps out of a hole, he's going to leave me. Like, I can't imagine being that woman, man, or any of those ladies. And it's like, it's funny on the internet, but to me, that's not funny. Like, I see that and I think like, man, how, like, one, man, there'd be no chance in hell. If that happened to me, I'm absolutely, I can promise you I'm running towards it. Like, I can promise you, like, even if I jumped out of fear for a second, my man brain would just jump right into action and attack whatever it is. I just can't imagine ever getting so scared that I fucking run from something I can't even see. Because remember, there's nothing actually there. Right. So like, it's not like a lion jumped out of the woods or something, or a bear. So then you'd maybe think like, okay, he has an excuse. No, there is no excuse. There's nothing there. Sad, man. I have 2 sons coming now. Freaking, they are going to be mediocre after what you said. Someone tell me it's going to be okay. Which ones are they? Tell me the numbers and I'll give you some feedback. Bill Burr has a good take on this guy screaming on an airplane. Definitely, I think I heard that one. Definitely not a boring one. Might get a white stripe down your noggin. I usually throw my girlfriend on the floor as bait. So that's basically what it was. There was one guy that kind of felt like that's what he did. And it's like, man, like, come on, dude. Like, and I think about the girls. Like, you think they'd want to leave them. There's a rumor that Chuck Norris called Mr. Dees. It didn't work out for him. No, I can't imagine that a woman wanting to continue being with a man like that, because it's like, if you can't even defend me, and I understand being scared. It's not about being scared. That's not the point. You can be fucking scared. The point is that you run towards it even though you're scared, right? Not scream and shake and run out of the room as if you're being attacked by a damn pit bull when you can't even see anything yet. There's nothing there. Absolute sad. It is an unnatural reaction under unnatural circumstances, being denied a simple handgun to defend ourselves against heavily armed gangsters. Well, I think everybody should be as armed as you possibly can be. We're in trouble as the American culture when so many men are so weak. Yeah, but like I said, man, it is on the men to advocate for other men, right? Because it's only going to get worse unless if the men have men to look up to and to inspire them, right? I think that's one of the biggest problems we have. If you look at and I hate to go down this bubble, because I watch this and I study this stuff so much. If you look at the single family homes that have raised men, like, put it this way, in jail, like in prisons, in jails, if you I think it's like oh man, I think it's like 70% higher if you come from a single family home, meaning like you come from only a mother without a father. You have like a massive more percentage. I don't want to speak the numbers because I'm not 100% accurate, or I don't remember exactly, but it's crazy. The number's crazy. Like the percentage, how high it goes when you don't have a father in the house, of going to prison or jail or anything like that, just winding up in the system. And when you look at how many fatherless homes there are in so many communities, it's no wonder why we're fucking raising weak men. And like, they need men in their life that are positive influences, right? So since they don't have it, where do they go? They go to bad influences or listen to women on how to be men, which is not good either. I'm not saying there's not a lot of great women out there. I mean, my mother, man, she was a beast. My mom was the shit. But it does take a man to raise a man. And I think that if we do our job on trying to help the other men and try to influence and communicate, talk, and encourage good, strong morals and behaviors, then they're more likely to do it. It's kind of like a Jordan Peterson, right? I was talking about this on the podcast yesterday. Jordan Peterson, man, like think about how many men have like he talks about all the time, all the men that come up to him and just thank him for what he's done for them, and all it is what did he do? He didn't do anything physical. He was just talking, right? But his voice alone and his masculinity talking in a way that young men can hear and listen, and because men don't want things packaged up nicely. We want it straightforward. Just say it. Tell me the truth. And he does that. So, and that's why men gravitate towards him. And I think if there was more people like that, and like it was in our society everywhere, I think we would see the men get stronger. I honestly think that, because I think the men would see so many positive influences around them, and they would be like, I want to be like that guy. Right? I want to mind like that guy. I want to work as hard as that guy. I want to be as tough as that guy. I want to look jacked like that, whatever the fucking thing is. But with such a small percentage of men doing that, there's not a lot of Joe Rogans out there. There's not a lot of Jordan Petersons, Andrew Tates and all these people. There's not a lot of them. So I had a Thai boxing school for 13 years, and it's not an American problem. Girls are way tougher than boys nowadays. It's just how you raise them. Boys need to be boys, and girls need to be girls. I can't agree with you more. But I think that that's what they're trying to do. I think because I think that that's a good way to ruin society. I think a good way to ruin society is to make men weak and make women strong, because it's not natural. And it weak men, obviously society's going to crumble. The one thing that's protected countries and communities has been strong men. Well, if they're weak, then they're not going to be, they're going to be less likely to put their neck out, right? They're going to be less likely to do anything. And then it's easy takeover, right? It's easy for them to get and do what they want with us. And it's sad because it's so easy to see. And I think most of us in here, we know it. We can see it. We can all see it so much. Seems logical. So I've enjoyed everything he says. There's a few things that maybe disagreed with him on, but not much. Almost every single thing he says is facts, and and not even my opinion. It just is. And then like the couple things, like he's obviously doing a little bit of satire, right? He's playing a part. But for the most part, if you listen to him when he's being genuine, right? That guy's full of knowledge, man. Full of just absolute gold. And I relate with it because I have a very similar mindset. Like I have a very similar mindset. Before I ever even heard his voice, like a lot of the things that he says, that's what my brain says. So it's very easy for me to relate because like that's how my dad talked, that's how my uncles talk, that's how I talk. Every young man should serve 4 years in the military. That would be awesome, actually. That's aside from, not wanting to have to force men into military, I think that would be a great idea. The problem is I think a lot of our politicians would put us in way more wars. But yeah, no, I think that's a good idea. I do. I think that a lot of men go to the military to find themselves because they might not have something else, and they know it's a safe choice. And I mean like insurance, benefits, things like that. But it also, makes you a man. And there's a lot of boys that never got to experience what being a man is, and now they get to an age where it's like, what am I going to do? And then they go to the military. How you live in this life carries over to the next. All right, guys, let's end this here. I think this was a good episode. I definitely enjoyed it, and I appreciate all the input from you guys and you guys kicking it and hanging out. You guys gave a lot of donations tonight. I do greatly appreciate all the new members, all the donations. We do not have a Bang Gang Live Sunday, but we do have one next week. Like I said, I am going to start posting content up. I just haven't had time. I've been playing catch up with stuff because I have all these new videos ideas that I'm doing, and they take 5 times the effort, 5 times the work. I have to go about them completely different. And anybody who has a channel, if you want to hear my recipe, just get a hold of me. I'd be happy to tell you what it is because it's a whole new recipe compared to what I was doing before. And it's working greatly. And I knew it would because, where I heard it from, it was, a great source. So the way I'm kind of shaping my channel now, I'm hoping it only brings better and better and better content, and I'm going to get better at doing it. Right now, I'm still at the beginning phases where I'm learning these little editing tricks and stuff, to be able to give you a better experience when watching. But as time goes on, I'm going to get better and better and better and learn new tricks, and it's going to be awesome. I guarantee in the next 6 months, you guys are going to see a massive change in content. And I mean, for the better. Like, you guys are going to enjoy it like probably 10 times as much you guys enjoyed the old content. I promise you that. And I can promise it because I know I'm not going to give up, and I'm going to keep pushing until. That's when. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I love you guys. Until next time.